drapes, tile, hardwood floors. Let them do it all, but it starts with the carpets. $29 a room, pre-treated, clean, sanitized. 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN, or ZeroResDFW.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
There you are. Hello. I was having a small amount of difficulty with my difficulty. Actually, I was having no difficulty with my difficulty. I was having difficulty with my actual functioning unit. My unit needs to function in order for me to be able to do this job, and it didn't. I was having difficulty. Welcome to the Wells Report. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. Lots of things to do tonight. Tonight on the Wells Report, we're going to spend some time processing more of Project Veritas. That's going to be coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. It is a tale of Donald Duck and an interesting side note or two about how Donald Duck has played a huge role in this presidential campaign. Meantime, Wikileaks is still doing their job. One of Hillary Clinton's top aides, the interesting thing about this Wikileaks dump is that everybody outside of Hillary Clinton's head, and I'm talking about that's all of her aides, all the people that do their best to provide Hillary Clinton with the best possible advice, knew every implication of this private email server. They knew every implication. They sounded the alarm when it was appropriate. They did everything they possibly could do to protect the candidate from the realities of her own actions. Up to and including trying to get her to at least show a little remorse for breaking federal law on several different occasions in several different ways. Finally giving up, saying, this lack of remorse is a character flaw. Just so you know, the character flaw that an inability to show remorse about is sociopathy, or it's quite possible she could be a psychopath or a sociopath. They just don't have any conscience. They don't have any need to show remorse. Everything they do is perfect. Does that sound familiar? I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know. But you tell me the kind of people that don't have any remorse. It's up to you to decide that. One of Hillary Clinton's top aides urged colleagues to clean this up after President Obama claimed in March of 2015 he only learned of Clinton's private email system from news reports. That was a statement that aides pointedly challenged by noting the president has emails from her non-department address. That directive came from Cheryl Mills. One of the Democrat presidential nominee's most trusted aides was revealed today in the newest batch of campaign chairman John Podesta's emails posted by the anti-secrecy site Wikileaks. It's one of several showing how Clinton's inner circle scrambled to correct the record after President Obama made his initial remarks about the subject. Actually, the president was lying. The hacked Mills message stems from a discussion on March 7th, 2015, the night President Obama told CBS News he found out about Clinton's email system the same time everybody else did, through news reports. We need to clean this up. He has emails from her. They do not say state.gov, Mills wrote to Podesta just before midnight. So you're trying to tell me that Hillary Clinton has all these aides way back at the beginning of the year in 2015. She has all of these aides doing their dead level best to keep her from going to jail, jail. And she has no criminal intent? Really? There's no criminal intent there, huh? There's no willingness at all to break the law for any reason. Not that intent matters. In these laws, intent doesn't matter. Your intent means nothing. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. The next day, Clinton Communications Director Jennifer Palmieri also confirmed that Obama was aware of Clinton's personal account during a discussion with senior Clinton advisor Philippe Reines on how to handle the president's remarks. Quote, one of us should connect with the White House just so they know the email will show his statement to not make sense. That's, I guess, a euphemism for as a blatant lie to the American people. Several hours later, Palmieri answered, suggesting Reines talk with White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest or someone else in the communications department. They know that POTUS and HRC mailed, Palmieri wrote, using acronyms for the President of the United States and Hillary Rodham Clinton. Josh has been asked about that. Standard practice is to not confirm anything about his email, so his answer to the press was that he would not comment or confirm. I recollect Josh was also asked if POTUS ever noticed his personal email account or her personal email account, and he said something like POTUS likely had better things to do than focus on his cabinet's email addresses. That's because Ernest is a skilled and professional liar, just like his boss. Ernest, during his March 9th briefing, sought to clear up the seeming disconnect between Obama's statement and his past practice of emailing with Clinton. The point that the president was making is not that he did not know Secretary Clinton's email address. He did. But he was not aware of the detail of how the email address and that server had been set up or how Hillary Clinton and her team were planning to comply with the Federal Records Act. That actually might be a true statement. WikiLeaks disclosures also show early aides began planning to shield Obama's emails from being released. Podesta emailed Mills March 4th, the same day the House Benghazi Committee subpoenaed Clinton's emails, to ask if her communications with Obama should be claimed as executive privilege. Think we should hold emails to and from POTUS? That's the heart of his executive privilege. We could get them to ask for that. They may not care, but I think they will. Actually, in point of fact, when it came to stuff like that, chances are very, very likely that executive privilege would have been upheld in that case. But WikiLeaks tipped all of that over, didn't it? Whether Mills answered that email query is not known. WikiLeaks released over 30,000 of a purported 50,000 Podesta emails. But by October 2015, the White House was using executive privilege to stop the release of the Obama-Clinton emails. In other news from WikiLeaks, an email released yesterday shows members of the Clinton campaign discussing a Trump Swift boat project with a political strategist with long-standing ties to the Clintons. I know you can't look past Bernie and March primaries, but who's in charge of the Trump Swift boat project? Asked Joel Johnson, the managing director of Glover Park Group, a strategic communications firm, writing in a February 26th email to Clinton's communication director, Jennifer Palmieri. Needs to be ready, funded, and unleashed when we decide, but not a half-assed scramble, he said. Palmieri responded sarcastically, gee, thanks, Joel. We thought we could half-ass it. Let's discuss. The email was hacked illegally from Clinton's campaign chairman John Podesta's Gmail account. Swift boat is a reference to the organized political attack on John Kerry's military service during the 2004 presidential campaign. A group of Kerry's opponents, calling themselves the Swift Boat Veterans for Truth, aired ads calling the then Massachusetts senator's Vietnam service into question. Swift voting has become a catch-all term for organized political attacks that rely on information culled from a candidate's past. Trump underwent a swift voting of sorts starting last month. After the release of footage from 2005 of him speaking in vulgar terms about women with ex-NBC host Billy Bush. Numerous women have then come forward since accusing Trump of sexual harassment, and in some case, sexually assaulting them. Observers immediately asserted, me included, that this was a coordinated political effort. There has not been any proof of yet that it was, although this seems to take care of it for me. Yeah, the Swift Boat project went just fine. Remember, they had all the pieces in place. First of all, they had all the women not saying a word before the release of the videotape with Billy Bush. Then when Billy Bush, that tape was played, they waited until after the debate when Anderson Cooper could ask Donald Trump if he had indeed followed through on any of those words, which he said, no, I did not. That triggered all the women to come forward, one after another, after another, after another. Because as we know, you can elect a president of the United States who lies to Congress, lies to the American people, gets people killed, violates federal law, including the Espionage Act, violates national security protocols, and did so in the middle of a debate, a national televised debate the other night. You can elect somebody like that. But by golly, if you patted somebody's hiney 20 years ago, I'm sorry. We just can't have a president that does that. Arg! Stephen in Irving, Texas, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
How are you doing this evening? I wasn't supposed to ask that.
Yeah, that's just jump right into what you want to talk about.
Yes, I'm sorry. You were talking a while ago about Hillary having no sense of conscience, no sense of remorse or shame for what she may have done.
Classic symptom of a sociopath.
Well, I'm wondering, when you said that, it sparked a question in me. Have you ever noticed that in the president? I cannot recall a single time when he's done anything other than spin and justify his actions, no matter how badly they've hurt the country or damaged the economy. It's always a spin. There's never a sense of, yeah, I really kind of botched that one up. It just doesn't happen.
Well, as you know,
seems to me they're horses of the same color.
Well, as you know, Ben Carson was quoted as looking at President Obama on television one day and saying the words, "Look at that psychopath lie to us."
Now, actually, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, he actually said that. You can look that up. Ben Carson said, look at that psychopath just lie to us. Now, you might have heard me say psychopath instead of sociopath when I was explaining the whole thing, and that was because I was thinking of that very quote. There is no doubt about the fact that
Mr. Carson.
Well, yeah, Mr. Carson was absolutely plugged into the reality of this from the get-go. It's one of the reasons why we need an American like Ben Carson in public service as quickly as humanly possible. But in order to do that, we're going to have to elect Donald Trump. And we're going to have to do that by pointing out the ridiculous stupidity of all of the things that are being set aside by the mainstream media in an effort, as they have gone all in for Hillary Clinton, to get that woman elected, to be the president of the United States. She can't qualify for a security clearance, but she sure can be the president of the United States, huh? This is the Wells Report. Give voice to your conservative values with every call. I am John David Wells from the Wells Report. I want to tell you about Patriot Mobile. What a fantastic company. They're right down the street in South Lake, Texas. They are America's only conservative phone company created to fight for conservative candidates and causes. Get in touch with patriotmobile.com. Check it out. You'll get a free Samsung Galaxy S7 with unlimited talk, text, and data plan for just $70. Mention or enter the promo code WELLS. Now, this is the most important part. To be able to get this deal, you've got to mention or enter the promo code WELLS at checkout, WELLS, to waive activation fees for up to 2 lines. Call this very minute, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT. You've got to hurry, though, because this offer is only good while supplies last. Don't let liberal progressives and their phone companies defeat our conservative leaders. Stand with Patriot Mobile, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or patriotmobile.com.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by, making minimum payments? You should know the credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people they're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a large portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020, 800-518-4020, 800-518-4020.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes that can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first, and that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000. They will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you, but if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus, $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more, not just any pilings, Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Coin collectors. In 1986, President Ronald Reagan signed into law the American Gold Eagle $50 coin as a mint store of wealth. Today, the Westminster Mint has the 2016 $50 American Gold Eagle coin minted in 1 ounce of pure solid gold for $1,350. This beautiful $50 gold coin is the special 30th anniversary of the series and is certified in perfect mint state 70 condition by PCGS. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 being absolute perfection. These limited edition $50 American Gold Eagles are minted from 1 ounce of pure solid gold and are guaranteed for weight and purity by the U.S. government. If you want the American Eagle $50 gold coin at the absolute lowest price, call the Westminster Mint today at 800-301-3868. 800-301-3868. We also offer fast, insured delivery and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-301-3868.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Yeah, so they're trying to figure out whether the conserted effort to bring as many women as possible to complain about Donald Trump patting them on the hiney or wherever else or whatever else he did not do. Clinton campaign manager Robbie Mook was asked Sunday if the campaign had been in touch with any of Trump's accusers. He said he was not aware whether any have been. They've already done their job. Take your money, go home. Reach for comment. Johnson of Glover Park Group said his email was a reference to opposition research in general. My way of saying Oppo research. Yeah, usual unsolicited advice from the outside. Sure, right. Yeah, of course. Naturally, there's an answer for everything, There is an answer for everything. Johnson, who worked at the Bill Clinton White House, did not respond to a follow-up question about whether he knew of any specific opposition research, especially regarding any of Trump's accusers. See these people. I mean, the president of the United States is telling 60 Minutes a flat lie about Hillary Clinton's email server just as a matter of course. He didn't need to lie about that. What was that all about? Yes, I've exchanged emails with Hillary Clinton. I really don't know where they came from, to be perfectly honest. I have to go look. That's all you had to do. But he'd rather lie. The president of the United States would rather lie when given the opportunity. Why? Why? It's like trying to convince a teenager to stop lying to you. What are you lying to me for? I mean, the president is better at it than most people, but he's lousy at lying. Lousy at it. There is more. Hillary Clinton's closest allies were shocked when news of her private email first broke March 2015. Emails published by Wikileaks on Tuesday, Today show. John Podesta, Clinton's campaign chair, Neera Tanden, co-chair of Clinton's transition team, complained in an exchange written the day after the publication of the New York Times story that exposed her email use. The Clintons' team should have made the server public more than a year earlier in order to avoid such a distraction during the presidential election. Why didn't they get this stuff out like 18 months ago? So crazy, Tanden said. Podesta agreed that their refusal to do so was, quote, unbelievable. Well, I guess I know the answer, Tanden. They wanted to get away with it. Podesta noted David Kendall and Cheryl Mills, two of Clinton's lawyers, as well as former spokesman Philip Raines, sure weren't forthcoming on the facts here. Boy, when you've got Podesta and Cheryl Mills talking about somebody else's credibility and integrity, that's a pretty serious indictment right there. In the conversation with Podesta, Tanden lamented the fact that Mills had not put a stop to the private server use during Clinton's State Department tenure. Quote, this is a Cheryl special. Know you love her, but this stuff is like her Achilles heel or kryptonite. She can't just say no to this S word. Tanden, who also leads the liberal-leaning Center for American Progress, suggested Podesta arrange for the National Archives to request Clinton's emails and then have the former Secretary of State comply immediately in order to put the story to bed. The strategy avoids subpoenas, she notes. Everybody in the world knew that she was committing a crime. Everybody in the world knew that she was committing a crime, except apparently her and James Comey. Unbelievable. You want more proof? It's next. Stay right there. It's like a train crash that never ends. This is the Wells Report.
Just in time for hunting season, Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply is offering a half-price fall special on gun cleaning and tune-up.
Hello, this is Paul Smith, owner of Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply. When you get out in the field, you want to make sure your gun works at the peak of performance. That's why I recommend letting one of my 2 full-time gunsmiths disassemble and do a thorough cleaning and inspection of your gun so you can enjoy every moment of your hunting trip. If you have a gun that needs work, we do repairs, restorations, and upgrades, as well as special build long-range rifles. And I'm proud to announce is now an author in competition shooting rifles.
For courteous service, call Paul at Driving Nails Gunsmithing and Shooter Supply today at 682-888-2822. That's 682-888-2822. Or go to drivingnailsgunsmithing.com. That's drivingnailsgunsmithing.com.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Good Feet, America's #1 arch support. So here's the question. Do you need arch support? How many people need arch support? More than you think. There are people whose feet hurt at the end of a day. Maybe it's you, and that's not the way life is supposed to be. Some people's feet hurt at the beginning of the day, and that's really not the way that life is supposed to be. You should have arch support where your feet feel great even after a long day of working. If your feet hurt at the beginning of the day, you got all kinds of problems. GoodFeetDFW.com to get you pain-free. GoodFeetDFW.com. You can walk in hurting, walk out feeling better. GoodFeetDFW.com. The locations are Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake. Good Feet, America's #1 arch support for over 20 years, providing balance and comfort. You'll love the way you feel right away. Men's shoes, women's shoes, even high heels. GoodFeetDFW.com. GoodFeetDFW.com. Southlake, Plano, Fort Worth. They're your locations. GoodFeetDFW.com. GoodFeetDFW.com.
Just look at them, having a great time. To think 6 weeks ago, I was just installed. All it took was one last spilled drink on their old dingy carpet, and they had enough of him. Thank goodness. They got the professionals at Adair's Fine Floors in here, and just look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm not just your average wood floor. I take crazy traffic like a pro, and it's all because my homeowners called Adair's Fine Floors. Susan and Richard Adair came in, talked to the family, figured out what their needs were, and helped them find the perfect floor to fit their lifestyle. Adair's Fine Floors has a large selection with free sample checkouts, and they chose me. That's not all. Just look around. The coordinating accessories suggested by Adair's Floors. That rug over there? Yep, Adair's Floors. They offer free design and decorating assistance too, giving the home just the right look. Visit AdairsFineFloorsETC.com to get your home started on the right look for you. That's AdairsFineFloorsETC.com.
After you've cast your vote, join 660 AM The Answer on Tuesday, November the 8th at Feed Store Barbecue, the official headquarters for the election night watching party, as John David Wells of the Wells Report broadcasts live from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Feed Store Barbecue will be serving up mouth-watering favorites from tender brisket, flavorful sausage, smoked chicken, and famous pork ribs, while John David Wells serves up lively conversation and election updates. Come early, get a front row seat, enjoy a great meal, and watch the future of our nation take shape during this critical election. Vote, then go to Feed Store Barbecue from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on November the 8th for the official election night watching party. Feed Store Barbecue is located just south of South Lake Boulevard on 530 South Whitechapel. That's 530 South Whitechapel, just south of South Lake Boulevard. Feed Store Barbecue, a great place to meet.
I'm Aaron Katz. You might remember me from my radio show or my company with Little Red Trucks. Have you ever wondered why some people suffer from irrational fears like fear of heights, public speaking, or needles? For example, needles used to make me sick until I fixed it. It's because most irrational fears are created from a traumatic experience. It's a form of PTSD that affects many people. The good news is that fears from PTSD can be controlled, and you don't need a lot of prescription drugs or years of therapy to do it. As a certified NLP practitioner, I've learned how to help people eliminate their fears and change their lives. I do it by setting positive and negative triggers and activating them simultaneously. The positive neutralizes the negative, and it doesn't affect you any longer. It's the same as combining red dye and blue dye. The red and the blue both disappear, and it leaves purple. If you or someone you know has an irrational fear that's limiting them in some way, I can help. Visit my website, littleredtrucks.net. That's plural, Little Red Trucks, and it's .net. Let's get to work.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Taking a look at the Wikileaks mess and the downstream effects of it, the second and third order responses to this mess. A former State Department IT aide, listen to this. A former State Department IT aide invoked his Fifth Amendment rights and refused to answer more than 90 questions today. Actually, it was yesterday, during the final deposition in a lawsuit over Hillary Clinton's private emails. John Bentel, former Director of Information Resource Management of the Executive Secretariat, would not answer questions about whether the Clintons had paid his legal fees or offered him financial incentives, according to Judicial Watch, the conservative-leaning group that brought the lawsuit. The federal judge in August ordered Bentel to testify under oath because the record in this case appears to contradict his sworn testimony before the Benghazi Committee. Bentel told the House Select Committee on Benghazi in June 2015 he had no knowledge of Clinton's private email server. Unflipping believable. It's truly unbelievable. I mean, truly. How unbelievable is it? Washington Post Bob Woodward said on Fox News Sunday, the series of pay-for-play scandals involving the Clinton Foundation shows the global organization is undoubtedly corrupt. There are allegations about the Clinton Foundation and pay-for-play, noted Chris Wallace. When you see what seems to be clear evidence the Clinton Foundation donors were being treated differently than non-donors in terms of access, when you see this new revelation about the $12 million deal between Hillary Clinton, the foundation, and the King of Morocco, are voters right to be troubled by this? Bob Woodward said, yes, it's corrupt. It's a scandal. She didn't answer your question at all, Woodward added. And she turned to embrace the good work that the Clinton Foundation has done. She has a case there, he continued, but mixing of speech fees, the Clinton Foundation, and actions by the State Department, which she ran, are all intertwined, and it's corrupt. You can't just say it's unsavory, but there's no formal investigation going on now, and there are outs that they have, but the election isn't going to be decided on that. More is the pity. The Dallas Morning News editorial says Podesta, a longtime Democrat Party operative, has declined to confirm the accuracy of any or all of the individual messages involved in the Wikileaks leaks. Podesta has instead pivoted to accusing Russia of the hack that put the email in Julian Assange's laptop. That may well prove true, but it should concern Americans. The email substance has gone unchallenged. You know, why? Why should that go? Why should that bug us one way or another? Well, because the Dallas Morning News wants Hillary Clinton to be elected. That's why. Oh, okay. And then there's this about Hillary Clinton's health. And you know how I feel about this. Concerns about Hillary Clinton's health have been subdued after 3 debate performances. She presented her ability to survive a 4.5 hours on stage with Donald Trump as proof of sufficient stamina to serve as commander-in-chief. There is, however, something on her cheek today. On her right cheek, there is a line that looks like, I don't know, could be a suture line that's covered up with makeup. Don't know. She evidently intended that statement that she could be commander-in-chief, although I suspect combat veterans would not be amused. Videos are, however, circulating on the internet from her rather brief and rare appearances in public, which are purported to show pathological eye movements. There's a doctor out there, his name, or her name rather, is Jane Orient. Okay? Jane Orient is the executive director of something called AAPS. Okay? These are quick, episodic, and inconsistent, states Dr. Orient, who is an internist. So we decided to ask doctors on our email list to have a look at one of the videos and watch it at half or quarter speed. Nearly 2/3 of respondents say they saw abnormal movements. Only 15% did not. 21% were unsure. There are long segments in which eye movements appear normal. About 60% of those who saw abnormal movements thought the cause could be potentially disabling neurological conditions, and none of them were willing to say that it isn't. Such movements signify an abnormality in portions of the brain that coordinate eye muscles. There is a long differential diagnosis. Possibilities that the respondents suggest include increased intracranial pressure. She's at risk for that because of her history of head trauma, and a transverse sinus clot. A drug effect or chronic degenerative neurological condition. Parkinson's disease is mentioned, with drug treatment concealing most of the manifestations, but causing the eye signs. Doctors asked which tests would be helpful. 37 responded. The most common one was a full neurological examination by an unbiased specialist, including a neuro-ophthalmologist. A neuro-ophthalmologist could do a structured examination, but it might be normal at a moment in time. The video clips need to be explained. A cardiologist might be able to do an electrocardiogram that is perfectly normal, but he'll also look at a 24-hour Holter monitor, that's what they're called, that may show a transient life-threatening rhythm disturbance. A collection of additional clips in slow motion has been posted. As Hillary revealed to the public, perhaps illegally, the president may have only 4 minutes to respond to a nuclear threat, said Dr. Orient. The public needs to know whether she is concealing a serious progressive illness that may impair memory, reasoning, alertness, or ability to think quickly at a critical time. We now find out what AAPS is, the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons. It's a national organization representing physicians in virtually all specialties in every state. Founded in 1943, AAPS has the motto Omnia Pro Ergoto, which means all for the patient. Jane Orient is their executive director. Back to WikiLeaks. In light of the recent concerns about Hillary's health, perhaps Huma Abedin and John Podesta can explain exactly what they meant following the two emails. From Huma Abedin to Joel Benenson. She's going to stick to notes a little closer this morning, still not perfect in her head. Sent from my iPhone. This from Podesta. Any sense of when and where, whether and when she wants to talk? This from Jane Palmieri to John Podesta. Podesta, don't know. Huma left here about an hour ago. I just pinged again to ask about prep. Haven't heard back. She leaves at 6 p.m. for D.C. From John Podesta to Jennifer Palmieri. How bad is her head? Again, her staffers are all over this story. Why? I think she had a stroke. It's the only thing that makes sense. It would explain everything. It would explain everything, and it would be something that could be treated, especially if it wasn't major. But we know she had trouble with her eyes based on those Fresnel lens glasses. She was having trouble with eye crossing. And so when she testified the first time at the Government Oversight Committee, when she was talking about the famous conversation where she says, you know, what difference does it make? She was wearing those glasses. Her recovery time after the supposed slip and fall and concussion that came from it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. I'm not saying she didn't fall. I'm not saying she didn't have a concussion. I'm trying to figure out what caused her to fall down. The trans-ischemic attack could do it. But she would have to fall very, very hard to be able to have a concussion that would take months to recover from. Think about this for just a couple of minutes. NFL football players get clobbered. They go through their concussion protocol. And they're playing the most difficult sport they're back playing in 2 weeks. There's something wrong here. Now, once again, I don't care. I don't have any, I don't care what the story is from a standpoint of politics or whether she gets elected to the presidency or not. I'm concerned about her life. This is a bad situation here. If she's having serious trouble, if she's got somebody walking around with an EpiPen trying to keep her going, or some kind of a seizure issue, or some kind of debilitating neurological condition, she needs to take care of that. Unless she thinks this is more important. If she believes that the presidency is more important than her life, does that mean she's still qualified to be the president? Is it smart to elect someone who's suicidal to the presidency? She just can't ignore it. I happen to believe in the HIPAA law. And the HIPAA law is there for something just exactly like this. Believe it or not, this is the world's longest, most arduous, most comprehensive job interview in the history of the human endeavor. Running for the American presidency is a protracted affair lasting years. And frankly, you don't have to admit that you have a dread disease in a job interview. Okay, I mean, you don't have to. I think that it would be good if you did, insofar as your personal integrity would be at stake. In fact, I mean, if I was in the same situation, I'd just say, hey, look, you know what? I am not up to this. I'm not up to this. But she should have said that a year and a half ago, so the Democrat Party could have come up with somebody else. 866-660-5759. Let me get to John in Dallas. John, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hi.
Hi, John David. Listen, you said just a second ago that she can't ignore it, and I beg to differ with you. She's doing a remarkably great job.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I'm just sitting there going, okay, so let me ask you a question, John. Okay, so occasionally your body quits working, you can't walk, your brain blinks out. Wouldn't you go to the flippin' doctor?
Yeah, but I think she has. I mean, they have put everything into Clinton, and I don't know if I buy. I should say that I'm not sure if I buy what you put out here as I mean, because I just don't know how substantial it is. I mean, I did see that one video of her where she was shaking, almost passed out when she went into the van.
Yes.
It's hard to tell if that would be a temporal thing or if that would be, So, I mean, there's some evidence. I'm not saying that there's not some smoke. I just don't know if there's fire yet. It's
the one that disturbed me the most. Okay, yeah, the one of her getting in the van was. Yeah. I think that probably disturbed me the most. But the one that got my attention was the one where the large man came up on stage and told her to keep talking. Did you see that video?
No, I did not.
Do me a favor. We're going to take a break here. Okay.
Okay.
Have you got a computer handy?
No, I'm in the car.
Dang it. All right.
Sorry.
Well, when you get home, do a Hillary, and then in quotes, do keep talking. And
okay.
then watch that video because her eyes are very strange. She's locked on something completely. And the guy comes up to her and says, hey, you got to keep talking. And then that's where she said, yeah, and Donald Trump doesn't like animals either. Out of nowhere. This is the Wells Report.
Wow.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong. GetSold.net. 972-325-6644.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text LEARN to 42424. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, text LEARN to 42424. Again, that's LEARN to 42424.
Did you know that mammograms actually increase your cancer risk? Living Springs Natural Health offers a thermal scan that can detect cancer cells 4 years earlier than a mammogram. The average cost of a mammogram is $597. Breast thermography costs $195, is non-invasive, and has no compression, radiation, pain, or increased cancer risks. This FDA-approved thermal camera can also identify areas of stress in the sinuses, TMJ joints, thyroid, spleen, lymph system, liver, digestive system, breasts, back, and neck. If you suffer from joint pain, Living Springs Natural Health can determine the root cause of the pain and help the body heal itself with nutrition, supplements if needed, and natural therapies. Julie Clowers and Monica Janes are both board-certified naturopathic doctors. Call them today at 972-722-4668. That's 972-722-4668. Or learn more at livingspringsnaturalhealth.com.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. Simple question. What are we trying to do? Well, Mark, what do you mean? I mean, what are we trying to do? Let's make the list. Eat healthy, lose weight. That's all good. But listen, on that list somewhere, keep aware of our own bodies. Try to fend off heart attacks and cancer by being aware of what's going on inside us. Scan technology exists, and ViaScan prices give us the motivation to do the job right. At ViaScan of Las Colinas, John Duncan and the crew are there for you at a number I'm about to share so that you can see through the heart scan if you have plaques or blockages going on in your heart. See through the body scan what's going on in various other vital organs, maybe any pesky cancers that are festering there that you can detect early, the virtual colonoscopy, and so much more so we can stay healthy, stay on the planet, stay plugged into life. 972-739-2840. Call them. 972-739-2840, or just Google ViaScan.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Let me ask you a question. Where you been getting your fried yardbird on lately? I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's fried chicken. Well, at the diner, we do it a little bit different. Hand pounded, hand breaded, fried to order, and it comes with the best smooth, warm, creamy brie cheese. And then we top it with, oh my God, I can't even believe this, a tomato caper relish that is just out of this world. So if you've been eating fried yardbird somewhere else, come by the Crossroads Diner because my yardbird's the best.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with them at their new location, now at the corner of Preston and Campbell in the Kroger Shopping Center. Open for breakfast and lunch, Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit them on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. They'll be waiting for you.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must-hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. I want to direct your attention to a piece by F.H. Buckley. F.H. Buckley. He says that if Hillary wins, we'll have chosen our leaders for the rest of our lives. He goes through all of this. This is a very well-reasoned piece. It is quite good, and it's something that you ought to read. I'm not ready to give up. I'm not giving up on Donald Trump. I think there is at least as good a chance that Donald Trump will win this election as that he will lose it. At least as good. Because I'm still amazed at the fact that 20,000 people are showing up for this supposed, somehow morally bankrupt presidential candidate. And how no one is showing up for the power elite show dog of well, that's probably a bad choice of words. Let me apologize for that. I mean, I didn't mean to call Hillary Clinton a dog. Not at all. The star of the Democrat leftist progressive coalition, Hillary Clinton. Okay. I mean, to me, it's obvious. But F.H. Buckley writes a compelling piece in Fox News. Okay? F.H. Buckley, go see that. If Hillary wins, we'll have chosen our leaders for the rest of our lives. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You are listening to the Wells Report.
Honey, what is that in your CPAP mask?
Oh, that's just my mold collection.
Oh, gross. And what is that?
What, that bacteria colony right there? Yeah, cool, huh?
Okay, CPAP users, admit it. You're not always as careful about cleaning your system as you should be. Unfortunately, a dirty mask and hose can make you sick. Respiratory infections, allergy attacks, and more. But now there's an easy way to protect yourself. SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of CPAP germs in minutes. For a limited time, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-700-2152. SoClean is hands-free. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP comes out clean and fresh in minutes. Don't let germs wreak havoc on your health. Call in the next 10 minutes for your risk-free trial. 1-800-700-2152. That's 1-800-700-2152.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes and Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-614-9297 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-614-9297, and you'll also get free tickets to a training workshop that includes a free $20 Visa gift card, a smartphone watch, and USB flash drive loaded with Nick's powerful information as free gifts just for attending. Call 800-614-9297. That's 800-614-9297. Call now.
Welcome to Staples.
Staples guy, I need a ton of supplies for my business, but I hate spending all that money.
Well, it's a great time to stock up and save during Staples' Buy More, Save More event.
Buy more, save more event?
Yep, the more you buy, the more you save on everything for your office.
Everything, like pens and folders?
Yep.
I also need paper, file folders, storage bins, notepads, hand sanitizer, bubble roll. What else do I need?
A shopping cart. You will definitely need a cart for all this stuff. The Buy More, Save More event right now at Staples. Make more happen. In store only.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler.
We're really close. We're going to win Florida.
Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in Florida today. She urged supporters not to get overconfident.
I have to say, nobody should want to wake up on November 9th and wonder whether there was more you could have done.
Trump supporter and longtime Maricopa County, Arizona Sheriff Joe Arpaio facing criminal charges for ignoring a judge's orders in a racial profiling case.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio admitted in federal court that his office had not complied with the court order to stop racially profiling people, but he said it had slipped through the cracks. Now, federal prosecutors have formally filed criminal contempt of court charges against Arpaio.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal Arpaio, known for serving inmates bologna sandwiches and making them wear pink underwear, could get up to 6 months in jail if convicted. And Game 1 of the World Series underway in Cleveland, the Cubs and the Indians. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You're listening to 660 AM, The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes that can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock, doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first. And that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. They will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you. But if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus. It's $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more. Not just any pilings. Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-400-0301. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-400-0301. That's 1-800-400-0301. 1-800-400-0301.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
Want to see what you'd look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, we're giving away free trials of Soma Biotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-900-4110. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. Soma Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of Soma Biotics away for free. 1-800-900-4110. That's 1-800-900-4110. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-900-4110.
Hey, what's up? This is Michael Tate with the Newsboys. When I think about America today and the state of our world, my heart breaks because of the lack of love. Love can build a bridge. Love can change your heart. Love can change the world. And that's why it's time for a Love Riot.
It's the Love Riot Tour featuring the Newsboys. Sunday, November 20th, 6 p.m. at the Verizon Theater in Dallas. The Newsboys.
It's a night of coming together with family and friends to celebrate the greatest gift of all, love.
Along with special guests, The Afters. And Ryan Stevenson. Tickets available online at premierproductions.com with group tickets starting at $18.50. The Love Riot Tour with the Newsboys. Sunday, November 20th, 6 p.m. at the Verizon Theater in Dallas.
Brought to you by the DBU Concert Series. Tickets at AXS.com.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. We are keeping our eyes on Donald Trump, and I am working on trying to figure out just exactly what's going on with this election. There are a lot of people that are saying a lot of things having to do with the future of Donald Trump. And I will tell you that I think they're missing the boat. I know. You see, I have nothing really to lose on this because I was wrong with the first two Obama elections. My record on this is spectacularly poor. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, the situation goes like this. I think that, and tell me if you think I'm nuts. It's okay to tell me that you think I'm nuts. But I don't trust the mainstream media. I don't trust their polling. I found holes in it. I just don't trust the fait accompli. I was listening to Megyn Kelly today, okay? And she's talking to Mike Pence. And Mike Pence is sitting there going, you know, I happen to think that Donald Trump has a great chance to win. And then Megyn Kelly went into this long litany of things that are stacked against Trump. You know, that there are so many states that are now toss-ups, that there are this poll says this, and this poll says that, and this poll in Florida says this, and that poll in Ohio says that, and blah, 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 blah. She just keeps going down all of them negative against Donald Trump. And Mike Pence, because he's a pro, said, you know, there's only one poll that we have to worry about that, and that is the voter on election day. Those are the polls that we got to pay attention to. And he is, of course, completely correct. So, what are those polls telling us? Well, Donald Trump I think he had 3 campaign events today, and I believe that at least 10,000 showed up for each one, and one of them, 20,000 showed up. That was one of the things that Megyn Kelly said to Mike Pence. Well, Mitt Romney had great big crowds too right before election day. No, he didn't. Not like this. We don't have people looping buildings for early voting. We just don't have this stuff. And what I'm thinking is I'm thinking there's something up. That's what I think. And that's what I'm almost sure of. But take a look at this. Take a look at this. Let's just go through a few things here. Look at how ridiculous the coverage has gotten. Rich Noise in MRC Newsbusters, exposing and combating liberal media bias. In the 12 weeks since the party conventions concluded in late July, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has received significantly more broadcast network news coverage than his Democrat rival, Hillary Clinton. But nearly all of that coverage, listen to this, 91% has been hostile. This according to a new study by the Media Research Center. That's what MRC stands for. In addition, the network spent far more airtime focusing on the personal controversies involving Trump, 440 minutes, than about the similar controversies involving Clinton, 185 minutes, less than half. Donald Trump's treatment of women was given 102 minutes of evening news airtime, more than was allocated to discussing Clinton's email scandal, 53 minutes, and the Clinton Foundation's pay-for-play scandals, 40 minutes combined. For this study, MRC analyzed all 588 evening news stories that either discussed or mentioned the presidential campaign on ABC, CBS, NBC evening newscasts from July 29th through October 20th, including the weekends. The network devoted 1,191 minutes to the presidential campaign, or nearly 29% of all news coverage. Our measure of campaign spin was designed to isolate the network's own slant, not the back and forth of the campaign trail. Thus, the MRC Newsbusters analysts ignored sound bites which merely showcased the traditional party line, Republicans supporting Trump and bashing Clinton, and vice versa, and instead tallied evaluative statements which imparted a clear positive or negative tone to the story. Such statements may have been presented as quotes from a nonpartisan talking head, such as experts or voters, quotes from partisans who broke ranks, Republicans attacking Trump, Democrats criticizing Clinton, or opinionated statements from the reporters themselves. Additionally, they prepared personal evaluations of each candidate from statements about their prospects in the campaign horse race, standings in the polls, chances to win. While such comments can have an effect on voters, creating a bandwagon effect for those seen as winning, demoralizing the supporters or those portrayed as losing, they are not good press or bad press as understood by media scholars as far back as Michael Robinson's groundbreaking research on the 1980 presidential campaign. The results showed neither candidate was celebrated by the media, as Obama was in 2008. But network reporters went out of their way to hammer Trump day after day, while Clinton was largely out of the line of fire. Analysts found 184 opinionated statements about Hillary Clinton, split between 39 positive statements versus 145 negative ones. Those same broadcasts included more than 3 times as many opinionated statements about Trump, 91% of which were negative versus just 9% positive. Even when they were critical of Hillary Clinton for concealing her pneumonia, for example, or mischaracterizing the FBI investigation of her email server, network reporters always maintain a respectful tone in their coverage. This was not the case with Trump, who was slammed as embodying the politics of fear, or dangerous, or vulgar, or a misogynistic bully who insulted vast swaths of the American electorate. Reporters also bluntly called Trump out for lying in his public remarks in a way they never do with Clinton, despite her own robust record of false statements. As for the horse race assessments, they were excluded from the good press, bad press measure. Those were decidedly anti-Trump as well. Out of the 569 such statements about the health of prospects of Trump's campaign, 85% of them were negative. 15% were positive. For Clinton, the spin was reversed. Out of 432 assessments of her status in the race, 62% were positive. 38% were negative. Judging by their own coverage, Network reporters have consistently painted Clinton as the most likely to win, but they have inexplicably spent most of their time trying to dismantle the underdog in the race while giving the frontrunner much lighter scrutiny. This according to MRC Newsbusters. So what does this mean? This means that after the most epic political character I'm sorry to say this word. Let's just say attacks. The most savage political and personal attacks on a presidential candidate that I can remember. Donald Trump is still within a few points in all of the polls that he's worst in. He actually leads a couple. And something tells me they're going to get even tighter before Election Day if Trump doesn't start moving past Hillary. And the reason is because people can see through this stuff. People can see through it. Here's what they can see through. They can't see through this. More and more Americans are agreeing with Donald Trump, warning about a rigged election, with just 4 in 10 having a great deal of confidence that their vote will be counted accurately. In a new survey released today by the Brookings Institution, 43% have faith in their vote. By the way, there are people that have reported that when they vote an all-Republican ticket in the Texas early voting, that strangely enough, their ballot pops up with a vote for Hillary. How can this be? All I can tell you is that if you're voting early, what you need to do more than anything else is you need to double check before you leave the polling place to make sure that your vote was registered for the correct person. But 40 to 43% have faith in the vote. How stupid has it descended? How stupid has the negative publicity against Donald Trump descended to? Just in time for Halloween, the paper of record published a 7-year-old's nightmare sure to send chills down the spine of many Hillary Clinton supporters. Out of nowhere, Donald Trump appeared. That alone might scare even the most intrepid New York Times reporter, but it gets worse. It isn't bad hair Donald. This is zombie Donald. He's going from house to house, evicting Muslims and throwing them in jail. The dream was described to the paper by 7-year-old Muslim girl living in New York's whitest borough, Staten Island. She reportedly had the nightmare after watching the second presidential debate with her family when Trump called for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States, which would have absolutely no effect on her whatsoever. She's 7 and she had a nightmare, and the New York Times reported it. Getting a little desperate for negative Trump stories these days, buddies? Wow. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. What do you think of all of this? I say that the mainstream media has overplayed their hand. I say that the Republican Party has cashed in its chips and basically have retired from presidential politics. I say that we, the people of the United States, especially those who are not Democrat, must now find a new home. The Republican Party is essentially the caddy of the Democrat Party. And I'm ready to find a new home. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. You are listening to the Wells Report. Got time for your phone calls next. Let's talk a little bit about this amazing anti-Trump bias. Has the media overplayed its hand? Will they pay the price? Will America finally snap back and realize that nobody on the planet can be as bad as the mainstream media is trying to make Donald Trump out to be? This is the Wells Report. Hi, I'm John David Wells from The Wells Report, inviting you to an InvestingMakesMeSick.com investment seminar this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. at Three Forks on the North Dallas Tollway. There's no cost to you. I will be there. We'll talk a little politics, have some fun, and help you understand that your investment choices don't have to be limited to only mutual funds and annuities. At Investing Makes Me Sick, they are not anti-stock market. The stock market can be your friend, but you need to learn that there are other investment options not related to the stock market. The current political environment is going to have a big effect on your investments. I'll see you this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. to learn more about your investment opportunities. To register, call 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or log on to investingmakesmesick.com.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPCI. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated. Investment subject to individual investor suitability and risk tolerance. Investments involve a high degree of risk and may be considered speculative and may result in the entire loss of the amount invested. May also incur substantial fees and expenses which are borne by the investor.
Truth spoken here. More of which is next. The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
I first noticed my varicose and spider veins in college. After my first pregnancy, I started exercising to get back in shape, but my veins just got worse, and so did the pain and the throbbing. I was so embarrassed. The knotty, bulging veins in my legs looked like a roadmap. Then a friend told me about the Vein Clinics of America.
With over 200,000 successful procedures performed, Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as 1 hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by insurance.
Vein Clinics of America was the best thing I've ever done. I got my beautiful legs back.
Now's the time of year to maximize your insurance benefits. Take advantage of unused flex account dollars and lower deductibles before they're gone. Call now for your free doctor's consultation. Call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-700-5516. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-700-5516. That's 1-800-700-5516.
We recently began a partnership with Dr. Don Wayne Berry, who's a cardiothoracic surgeon. He stumbled upon a life-changing plant extract when he suffered a severe arm laceration. A neighboring rancher brought him a plant-based ointment that had been in her family for generations. He saw incredible results and left his skin better than before. Dr. Berry flew to El Salvador and he put a patent on this plant extract and now wants to market this anti-aging extract around the world. Instead of taking it directly to the shelves, they're using a home-based business model that gives ordinary people an extraordinary opportunity. He's launching a company right here in DFW. His team is partnered with our radio station and they want to connect with business builders and unleash Celsana. If you'd like to learn how to build a serious home-based business, I hope you'll make a call to speak with one of Celsana's groundbreaking leaders. Call 800-510-1645. 800-510-1645. That's 800-510-1645.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-3816. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote.
1-800-400-3816. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-3816. 1-800-400-3816.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. Yeah, it's like no matter what comes up, no matter what circumstance comes up, there's always somebody there saying, well, but it won't help Trump because of this. No, it can't help Trump because of that. You know, the Battle of Hastings in 1635, all these people that are saying that Trump doesn't have a chance, have made a supreme error. Do you know what that supreme error is? What are you going to do with the people that support him? What are you going to do with all of us that support this guy? You're just going to call us all idiots? You're going to send us to some gulag somewhere? I've never been more insulted in my life, ever, about my intellectual output than I have from people who do the strangest things. They do not listen to what I say about Donald Trump. They do not respond to the questions I ask about Donald Trump. And they refuse to believe that I have a shred of intellect in my brain because of Donald Trump. That is the perfect definition of a leftist, progressive, hubris-infested idiot. Has anybody ever really looked at the fact that leftist progressives, if they ever do gain power, don't keep it long? Has anybody noticed that? The reason they don't keep it long is because everybody hates what they do. Hillary Clinton has put an awful lot of laws up for consideration. None of them have gotten passed. There were a few, actually, when she was the senator of New York, where she reached out for and did great work for the first responders. But that's not a political thing. That is a national need. I'm talking about a political project destined or designed to make we the people better, give us a better life. I don't see an awful lot of that. I see an awful lot of things that give the Democrat Party a better life. I see many, many things that give Hillary a better life. But isn't the government of the United States impaneled to protect, defend, and work in behalf of the people of the United States? I mean, we're the reason that there is a government in the first place, right? So it should work for us, right? So why do they spend most of our time trying to let as many people from other countries in and making sure that they have a nice life? How about doing something about my 94 million neighbors that haven't been at work for a few years, except just keep sending them payments? How about getting them to work? Oh, wait, we can't, because the government says you can't mine coal anymore. Or you can't do this, and you can't do that. You can't make a living, so we have to give you one. Really? This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes. It can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock, doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first, and that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. They will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you. But if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus, $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more. Not just any pilings, Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes in Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-614-9297 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-614-9297. And you'll also get free tickets to a training workshop that includes a free $20 Visa gift card, a smartphone watch, and USB flash drive loaded with Nick's powerful information as free gifts just for attending. Call 800-614-9297. That's 800-614-9297. Call now.
Hi, my name's Tim Forehand. I'm a deputy
You want me to
sheriff.
take
In
the
my
beginning
job,
music
keeping
off
in shape
before
is
just where they
important.
started?
I've
You
tried
want to play
other products to get my weight down, but nothing has worked like Andrew 400. In just 3 months, I've dropped 51 pounds, down from 230 to 179. Plus, the weight's come off in the stomach area. I've gone from a snug 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Andrew 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible to lose stubborn belly fat? Then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400. Lose belly fat, gain energy and confidence, and feel great about yourself. Andro 400, the safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435.
In the world of mattresses, personalized comfort matters. Your body needs a mattress that will fit your unique physical needs, so a personalized fit means less back and neck pain and ultimately better sleep. Eric Nadel for Savin European Sleep Systems. 30 minutes with the pros at Savin. That's exactly what you get. A custom-tailored mattress and a more comfortable sleeping experience. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake, go to savin.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis, Happy Simple Sleep Services customer, and it's a good idea to get rid of the snoring, sleep healthy, live life all year long. But as the year rolls on, they take insurance at Simple Sleep Services, lower deductibles and out-of-pocket. Make it a really good time to get with them at 469-685-1700. If the CPAP thing isn't working, you don't want surgery, Simple Sleep Services Somnodent device. I love it. It works. SimpleSleepServices.com. They're in Dallas. They're in Fort Worth. 469-685-1700 or SimpleSleepServices.com.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards, and it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment. Now we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360.
Attention all grandparents, learn how you can pass on a legacy of faith to your grandkids. Join Chuck Swindoll, Crawford Loritz, John Trent, Josh McDowell, Gary Chapman, Tim Kimmel, and other grandparenting experts November 15th through the 17th at Stonebriar Church in Frisco for the Legacy Grandparenting Summit, the first ever national conference on Christian grandparenting. Visit LegacyGrandparentingSummit.com to get all the details. Don't miss this very special event coming to the Dallas-Fort Worth area in November. Learn more at LegacyGrandparentingSummit.com.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Some of the most important work being done in American journalism has nothing to do with ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, or any of the alphabet soup networks. Some of the best journalism being practiced today is from a group called Project Veritas Action. They have already outed Robert Kramer and another guy, Scott Fovel, who is they are out of jobs now because they were outed working for the Clinton campaign and the DNC. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do now is we're going to play their third installment of video. Their third installment of video is one of these pieces of video that you really need to pay very close attention to. Because what they do is they say, hey, you know what? These people are working for the DNC. Listen closely.
We have to clear this with DNC. With Democratic National Committee, we have to clear which message we're going to be targeting at each event.
In the end, it was the candidate, Hillary Clinton, the future president of the United States, who wanted ducks on the ground. So by God, we will give ducks on the ground.
So it's wow.
Don't read that thing. Don't read that thing.
I think this duck is going to get swept up somewhere.
I almost got punished on Monday morning. I mean, I was in a duck costume.
If the future president of the United States wants ducks on the ground, we will put ducks on the ground.
Part 3 of our undercover investigation into the dark, backroom dealings of the Hillary Clinton campaign. In this story, we'll show an illegal dark money conspiracy between the Hillary Clinton campaign, the DNC, and the non-for-profit corporation Americans United for Change. And it's all disguised as a duck.
So I'm basically Deputy Graphic Response Director for all things Trump on the ground. Nobody's really supposed to know about me.
You know, Brad and Bob and Lux and myself are all part of the old school method where it doesn't matter what the freaking legal and ethics people say. We need to win this motherfucker.
So Bob is really defensive and talked to him this afternoon. And they're all in. If we can get 25 grand, they're all in.
It was earlier this year when people in Donald Duck costumes started showing up at Trump events across the country. It turns out the duck was Hillary's idea.
Tomorrow we start this initiative on the tax returns.
Right.
So, tomorrow morning at Trump Tower, I hope we can arrange it so it goes down the escalator. We will launch Donald Ducks. A guy in a Donald Duck costume. The sign that says Donald Ducks releasing his tax returns.
Robert Kramer runs Democracy Partners. It's a political consulting company based in Washington, D.C. with deep ties to Hillary Clinton, the Democratic National Committee, and Obama's White House. In fact, White House logs document that Kramer visited the White House 342 times and met directly with Obama 47 times.
In the end, that is adapted to Donald Duck's debates, Donald Duck's whatever else he does. But we're going to have Donald Ducks. And the real problem turns out that you know, it's not easy to find Donald Duck costumes for adults. I might imagine. 5-year-olds, plenty of them.
We did Donald Ducks in May.
Brad Woodhouse is president of Americans United for Change. After our first video, Woodhouse fired Scott Fovel, his national field director.
We put out a whole blast kind of release around the idea that he was, using his name, but we were on taxes at that point because it was the same thing repeatedly. And the key here is to have the visual and to have the costume at that time. We got so much shit for that blast that, reporters thought it was silly. And I do think they're probably still shocked. The reporters probably still think it's silly. But you know what? When you're talking to reporters, they're covering it. We're talking to voters. And they're covering reporters this morning was they loved it.
Originally, we were going to do a project. We were going to do Uncle Sam, I Want You. give us your tax returns. I agree it's not as good.
Been done, yeah.
I agree it's not as good. It's much easier to execute. The guy who had done this other Chicken George thing had this other idea, and in the end, it was the candidate, Hillary Clinton, the future president of the United States, who wanted ducks on the ground. So, by God, we will give ducks on the ground.
So it's, wow.
Don't read that thing.
Okay.
And it is a clever, it's a better idea.
Originally, this guy Sklar, who was did Chicken George in 1992, came to Lex and I with the idea of Donald Ducks. And I ran it up the flagpole in New York in person. And then he came up and he said, we better do, what do you call it, Sam. And I want you to roast your textures. And God knows Sam suits are easy to find for both. But then I get a call, actually, on the plane about to go to London last week. Christina Reynolds calls and says, I've got good news and bad news. Good news is the candidate would like to have a mascot following around the duck. Following around the candidate, Trump. The bad news is she wants it to be Donald Duck. And that's because Sklar is an old Clinton man. He had gone to somebody who's wanted to buy people, and she explained the idea to Hillary, and Hillary just loved it. Okay, let me tell you something. I think she has the right instinct here. This thing, it's resonating, but that story is not exactly what you want to hear about how presidential decision making happens. So my answer to Christina was, if the future president of the United States wants ducks on the ground, we will put ducks on the ground.
Hillary Clinton and the DNC wanted the Donald Ducks at Trump and Pence events. The direct involvement of the campaign and the Democratic National Committee with Americans United for Change and Donald Ducks smacks of illegal, coordinated campaign expenditures. Federal campaign law experts have told us, quote, the ducks on the ground are likely public communications for purposes of the law. It's political activity opposing Trump, paid for by Americans United for Change funds, but controlled by Clinton and her campaign, unquote. Representatives of Hillary's campaign were on daily conference calls we witnessed with Kramer, AUFC managers and their operatives. They were talking about where to send the ducks and the ducks message. Not just the campaign. Donna Brazil's Democratic National Committee was in on it as well.
So the operation is to insert and get the duck message in there, if we can, or the extremist message, depending on, we have to clear this with DNC. With Democratic National Committee, we have to clear which message we'll be targeting at each event. But they can insert into multiple events through the end of the election. On a continual basis, on a daily basis. That basically do a chase all the way across the country. Now, the duck stuff, we got him way too good. For the aggressive bird dogging, I want to make sure I stay on track here. For the aggressive bird dogging, we want to do from the line before the events, where we're plastering the outside with the Trump duck message, and then going into the events, everybody has their phones. We insert like 20 people, 20 to 30 people into the events, where they all have their phones set to go off at the exact same time on an alarm with the duck call on the inside of the event all at once from all over the event.
So they'll catch like the incident going down, or
so we want the media to notice the duck calls, right? So we have everybody load a ringtone on their phone that are all timed to go off at the exact same time.
We just ordered 1,000 rubber duckies with Donald Duck's ring on them to hand out to people in the press.
That's a cool idea. That is a cool idea.
We got to order a bunch of Donald Duck hats so we can put people behind them at various events, where they speak. You get the drift? I'm going to probably set up a mini website.
right? Like,
Ducks.
that don't look like Donald
Look like
Ducks.
Donald.
Do they really? Do they license the suits and put?
Yeah, so that's why it's expensive to buy or rent them, because they're licensed.
You're not going to run into a Disney problem, right? With a copyright issue or
Sure, please God.
Oh my God, that is awesome, right? Because you're going to get.
I doubt that they will, because you're paying the rent to provide the suits. That's where they get their license fee. We're not using it for commercial use.
And the DNC didn't just help place Donald Duck at protests, they were in charge of it.
Yeah. The whole duck thing, that came about, the reason we moved it from DNC to AUFC was to just do a hopscotch, but the actual idea was hatched way back in May.
So our journalist asked Creamer why there was a problem with the DNC taking credit for the duck.
The duck has to be Americans United for Change entity. This had to do only with some problem between Donna Brazil and ABC, which is owned by Disney. That they were worried about a trademark issue. That's why
okay.
It's really silly. Oh yeah, because they go to New York. New York doesn't care about any of that shit.
Okay. So it's just like a trademark issue with.
This it. Yeah, we originally launched this duck because Hillary Clinton wants the duck. In any case, so she really wanted this duck figure out there doing this stuff. So that was fine. So we put all these ducks out there and get a lot of coverage. And the duck thing, our taxes. And then ABC, they say, Disney went crazy because they thought our original slogan was Donald Duck's his tax thing, releasing his tax returns. They said it was a trademark. It's not. But anyway, Donna Brazil had, had a kind of connection with it. She wanted to get sued, So we switched the ownership of the duck to Americans United for Change, which, and now our signs say Trump Ducks releasing his tax returns. And we had any more trouble.
On August the 18th, the Wall Street Journal wrote that Donald Ducks was the creation of the Democratic National Committee. Then on September 8th, the Journal reported that the DNC cut ties with the duck. Quote, the DNC is no longer associated with the duck. Americans United for Change is now managing the duck, a consultant for the liberal activist group told the Wall Street Journal, unquote. But behind the scenes, the DNC and the Hillary Clinton campaign was still running the show, breaking federal campaign coordination laws.
Sometimes divvy up or talk early, so sometimes it'll be like campaign owned. So like sometimes you'll see like that they advise something or they're taking credit for things. So like we're not taking credit for the duck anymore. That's like random allied groups. But it's still something that we're involved in. But
why aren't you taking credit?
Just because there were issues. There were like it's a whole long story. Ask Bob about it.
Intro party politics.
But
okay.
No, it wasn't party politics, but you just have to be careful about these things and when we talk about them and we know about certain things. But you guys are interested, so I'll be fine.
Creamer and Fovel even expected there to be violence following the duck, and it sounded like they wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
Have you
classic duck. You're gonna have these ducks at some of these rallies, right? Sure. Every rally. Yeah. So are you
2 minutes?
Are you people with them to protect the duck? Because
I have 15 seconds to talk until the end of the segment.
It's going to get. It's costume off. It may happen at the Iowa State Fair this week. Yeah. Because Pence is there, and the duck is planning to follow him around.
It's about intent.
Not the duck itself.
No.
Okay. Because that's the only
reaction to the duck call and the signs.
Okay.
Because once they pull out these signs, Trump supporters literally start throwing punches at our people. I almost got punched on Monday morning. I mean, I was in a duck costume.
Fovel didn't get punched, but last week he got fired. Robert Creamer resigned from Clinton campaign activities. It was after Watergate that Congress passed the Campaign Coordination Law. To prove a violation, 3 prongs are required: payment by someone else other than the candidate for election activity, conduct, a campaign being materially involved in shaping communications by third-party groups, and content, running electoral advocacy close to an election. The payment is complicated.
But just the fact that Foval, a paid employee of Americans United for Change, was the duck at some events constitutes payment by AUFC. Conduct, based on their own admission, the campaign, Creamer, their agent, and AUFC coordinated the duck activities. And finally, content. Donald Duck's is undeniably political content directed against one candidate for the sole purpose of helping another. The connection between Creamer, President Obama, and Hillary Clinton is undeniable, as are the campaign law violations. If it looks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, and it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. They broke the law. Last week, Hillary denied her connection to Creamer and AUFC. America, it's time you demand she tell the truth. And stay tuned, because there's more to come.
Like I said, Project Veritas Truth, Project Veritas Action, doing the only real journalism in this entire political campaign. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. So what happens when you pay your cell phone bill? Well, I get to keep my credit rating good, and I get to talk in my cell phone that I can take everywhere in the whole wide world, and I can have a wonderful time. Everything is awesome. Yeah, but whatever happens to the money that you give big cell phone companies? That's right. They give the money that you give them to Hillary Clinton. What? Yeah, that's exactly what happens. I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report. Yeah, your cell phone money gets funneled into Democrat races to help defeat giants of conservatism, you know, like Congressman Alan West of Florida. Now, let me tell you about an alternative you need to call right this minute. Patriot Mobile. They give 5% of every dollar you spend to conservative causes. Right now, get a free Samsung Galaxy S7 with an unlimited talk, text, data plan for just $70. Mention or enter this promo code WELLS, WELLS at checkout, and you will waive the activation fee for up to 2 lines on the spot. All you got to do is remember my last name, Wells, the Wells Report, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or check out patriotmobile.com. Call 800-272-8746. Visit patriotmobile.com. Call Patriot Mobile today.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-400-0301. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-400-0301. That's 1-800-400-0301. 1-800-400-0301.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-700-5516. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-700-5516. That's 1-800-700-5516.
I'm Aaron Katz. You might remember me from my radio show or my company with Little Red Trucks. Have you ever wondered why some people suffer from irrational fears like fear of heights, public speaking, or needles? For example, needles used to make me sick until I fixed it. It's because most irrational fears are created from a traumatic experience. It's a form of PTSD that affects many people. The good news is that fears from PTSD can be controlled, and you don't need a lot of prescription drugs or years of therapy to do it. As a certified NLP practitioner, I've learned how to help people eliminate their fears and change their lives. I do it by setting positive and negative triggers and activating them simultaneously. The positive neutralizes the negative, and it doesn't affect you any longer. It's the same as combining red dye and blue dye. The red and the blue both disappear, and it leaves purple. If you or someone you know has an irrational fear that's limiting them in some way, I can help. Visit my website, littleredtrucks.net. That's plural, Little Red Trucks, and it's .net. Let's get to work.
660 AM, The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Donald Trump's campaign charged that new undercover videos shot by the conservative activist you just heard from, Project Veritas, proves that Hillary Clinton directly coordinated with a liberal group that's been accused of inciting violence at Trump rallies. The latest video from Project Veritas allegedly shows a Democrat operative previously who had been linked to individuals accused of planting provocateurs at Trump events, bragging about receiving orders from Clinton to deploy Donald Duck-suited pollsters to Trump events, protesters rather. In a totally disqualifying act that is a violent threat to our democracy, Hillary Clinton directly involved herself in inciting violence directed at Trump supporters. Should this be investigated? Or is this all things are fair in love, war, and politics? Is that what we're doing here? What would happen if hardly anybody did anything that would have ruffled any shred of any hair on Hillary's precious head during this entire thing? What happens? Gosh, before you know it, you have something that you said 10 years ago being played in front of the entire national press, and suddenly women you've never met are talking about how you manhandled them in private at some point. How convenient. Unprovable, and so on. It's called character assassination. It's called slander and libel. I wonder how much Hillary would like to deal with that. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644.
Issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-3816. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-3816. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-3816. 1-800-400-3816.
Hey, what's up? This is Michael Tate with the Newsboys, and it's time for a Love Riot.
It's the Love Riot Tour, featuring the Newsboys, along with special guests, The Afters, and Ryan Stevenson. Sunday, November 20th, 6 p.m. at the Verizon Theater in Dallas. Tickets available online at premierproductions.com.
Brought to you by the DDU Concert Series. Tickets at AXS.com.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be covering the vote count.
Today, the two major party presidential candidates campaigned in Florida, vying for that state's 29 electoral votes.
If we win on November 8th, we are going to Washington, D.C., and we are going to do what? Drain the swamp.
Donald Trump in Tallahassee, Hillary Clinton in Coconut Creek.
After spending his entire campaign attacking one group of Americans after another, immigrants, African Americans, Latinos, women, POWs, Muslims, people with disabilities, now his final target is democracy itself.
UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon saying peace treaties are more likely to be successful and last longer when women are at the negotiating table. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM, The Answer.
Who will be our nation's 45th president? Tell you what, let's find out together. Hi, I'm John David Wells from The Wells Report. Let's meet after you cast your ballot at the official election headquarters of 660 AM The Answer, the Feed Store Barbecue in South Lake. I'll be broadcasting live from 6 p.m. to midnight on Election Day, Tuesday, November 8th. At the Feed Store Barbecue, they'll be serving a mouth-watering favorites from tender brisket, flavorful sausage, smoked chicken, and famous pork ribs. I'll be serving up lively conversation and election updates the entire evening. Come early, get a front row seat, enjoy a great meal, and watch the future of our nation unfold. For the 660 AM The Answer, the Wells Report official election night watching party. The Feed Store Barbecue, located just south of South Lake Boulevard on 530 South Whitechapel. That's South Whitechapel, just south of South Lake Boulevard. I'll see you there. Feed Store Barbecue, a great place to meet.
We are America.
A portion of the evening's proceeds will benefit Amy's Wish with Wings, a Spirit Horse Therapeutic Center, 501c3, located in South Lake.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text LEARN to 42424. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, text LEARN to 42424. Again, that's LEARN to 42424.
This is Michael Medved for Relief Factor with an email that came in from Nicole. She writes, I'm 34 years old and I have severe lower back pain for 20 years, and I've been taking prescription painkillers for about 6 to 7 years now. Even when taking those painkillers, it was pain almost every day for me. I'm just completely amazed now that after 2 days of taking Relief Factor, I've had no more back pain. I'm on my 5th day today and so thankful that my fiance suggested that I try this. Thank you, Relief Factor, for giving me my pain-free life back. You should enjoy a pain-free life, too. Everybody should enjoy a pain-free life, of course, and you can do that with Relief Factor. You know what it is? It's all natural. It's a dietary supplement, completely safe. Just read the testimonials. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. Use their quick start to get you set up for 3 whole weeks, just $19.95. ReliefFactor.com. You have nothing to lose but your pain and the whole world to gain. ReliefFactor.com.
Hi, I'm Michael, featured in Success Magazine 3 times for changing thousands of lives financially by creating part-time, full-time incomes and creating millionaires. I'm doing it again. Thanks to Don Barry, a triple board certified thoracic heart surgeon and renowned biochemist, along with the help of Texas A&M and years of research, Dr. Barry has created the greatest anti-aging serum in the world.
I'm Doug Donnelly, former wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not being paid to endorse this product. I'm doing so because I use it and I love it.
I'm Linda, a local ranch owner. I've had the luxury of buying the best skincare products in the world. I cannot believe this anti-aging serum. It's amazing.
I am building a team and creating life-changing income for people just like you. Get a free month supply for those who qualify. Call our answering service. Leave your name, number, and the best time to call you. 800-510-1645. That's 800-510-1645. Again, 800 510-1645.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Patriot Mobile. The air is filled with choices, the kind of choices we get to make in a free country, especially in an election year. Here's a choice you get to make: your cell phone company. You know, big mobile companies I could name that you're probably doing business with. You know they support Hillary and the far left. What can you do? Let's change you over to Patriot Mobile, patriotmobile.com/Mark, patriotmobile.com/Mark, or 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Same quality of service at Patriot Mobile, better prices, supporting better causes. And the special, the free Samsung Galaxy S7 unlimited talk, text, and data for just $70 a month. Mention or enter the promo code MARK at checkout. Waive activation fees for up to 2 lines. Keep your same number. They buy you out of your current contract. patriotmobile.com/Mark. And at 1-800-A-PATRIOT, switch over today. Free signed copy from me of Lone Star America, How Texas Can Save Our Country. 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Mark. patriotmobile.com/Mark.
You know, I'm not a genius about money. I love my credit cards, and they love me. I was using them as a source of income, and then I got behind in my payments, and creditors were calling. I heard about Trinity, so I called and talked to a counselor. Now I've got one easy monthly payment, a lower interest rate, and I'm getting out of debt.
If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360. 1-800-758-5360.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. So we were talking about this very briefly last night. We talked about how Obamacare premiums were going to go through the roof in 2017. Further, many consumers will be down to just one insurer, which is why the prices are so high. These are two things that President Obama has confirmed to us in the first couple of days of this week. And what is his solution? His solution is to give more money from a bankrupt government to we, the people of the United States. Isn't it funny? They look to us, to our rich neighbors, to bail them out of trouble, and then promise more trouble by paying us money that they shouldn't pay us because they don't have any money in the first place. According to the Associated Press, before taxpayer-provided subsidies, premiums for a mid-level benchmark plan will increase an average of 25%. Oh, really? No, it's more like 75%. In some cases, 100%. That's going to happen in the 39 states served by the federally run online market. This according to a report from the Department of Health and Human Services. Some states will see bigger jumps, others less. Oh, really? Moreover, 1 in 5 customers will have plans from only a single insurer to pick from. This after national carriers such as United Health Group, Humana, and Aetna walked away from the plan. Consumers will be faced with not just big premium increases, but also a declining number of insurers. That will lead to tumultuous open enrollment periods, according to Larry Levitt, who tracks the healthcare law for the nonpartisan Kaiser Family Foundation. Now, don't get Larry Levitt wrong. The Kaiser Family Foundation is neck deep in all of this. The first HMO was Kaiser Permanente. Okay? Republicans pounced on the numbers as a warning that insurance markets created by the 2010 health overhaul are teetering towards a death spiral. And it'll probably start this year because people are not going to be able to afford their situation. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to buy insurance you can't afford, and you're going to say, okay, I'm not going to do it, and you're going to pay the fine. Then you're going to get sick. And then you're not going to be able to pay the bill. Now, that's only a temporary thing. Pretty soon, the healthcare provider that you're working with, they'll come up with a way for you to pay the bill. They'll come up with a real cost. They'll come up with a real cost of whatever it is that you needed, and they'll find a way of fixing it. Okay? So you don't have to worry about going without coverage. But it's not official coverage. It's not Obamacare coverage. It's actually Roberto Care coverage. I had a guy named Roberto. Roberto is an illegal immigrant. He does not have insurance at work. I say, what do you do when you need a doctor? He goes, I go down to the doctor. And what does he do? He says he sees me or my wife or my kids for $50, and that includes prescriptions. And then I said, what else? Then what do you do? He goes down to the pharmacy and he gets his drugs. And I said, did it cost you a fortune? He says, no. And I said, all of us should be on Roberto Care. Because you know what that's called? It's called something else. You know what it is? It's called the free market. That's what it's called. It's called the free market. The government has no business in American healthcare. It has no business in healthcare at all. When the government owns your healthcare, they own you. When they own your healthcare, they own you. Let me give you an example of what that means. Stephanie Packer wants to be the face of a right to life movement for as long as she draws breath. I want to spend every last second with my kids. She's terminally ill. She's a mother of 4. Nearly 2 years ago, Brittany Maynard, who was 29 years old, became the face of the right to die movement, now sweeping across the U.S. In Oregon, surrounded by loved ones, she took her own life legally before a brain tumor could do it for her with a self-administered dose of prescribed barbiturates. Stephanie Packer struggles to open her eyes every morning. The cultural landscape to which she wakes has shifted dramatically into one of pro-death, not pro-life. In June, her home state of California enacted a law permitting doctor-assisted suicide, and something terrible happened. Premature passing away with medical help is now widely seen as a preferable treatment to painful, prolonged living, says Packer. She'll fight to live with every last labored gasp drawn from her oxygen tube before finally accepting a natural end. I want to see my kids. I want my kids to see that death is a part of life. What does she have? She has something called scleroderma. Your skin hardens until it eventually suffocates you. The interesting thing about this is that her California health care plan denied her any further coverage. She can't find any coverage. Therefore, she can't find any treatment. But do you know what her plan would cover? Suicide drugs. So let me ask you a question. The purpose of all this is a health care plan, right? Why would a health care plan approve a death penalty, one that you inflict on yourself? If it's a health care plan, shouldn't they be caring about your health, your quality of life, doing whatever you can? Seems to me that the very first thing that should come off of any new healthcare plan is that anybody purveying a healthcare plan can have nothing to do with covering death care plans. Nothing. Because crazily enough, it's in the best interests of Stephanie Packer's healthcare plan that she kill herself off. Less expense. Monstrous, isn't it? That's why the government can't have anything to do with this. That's why Obamacare should go away immediately, and it should be replaced with nothing. Absolutely nothing. There should be no government anything having to do with health care for the citizens of this country. Now, there are things that you could do that are perfectly within the purvey of the legislature. For example, you can open up healthcare insurance to the entire country instead of state by state by state by state by state. That way, prices will come down dramatically. Why? Because suddenly insurance companies can spread the risk out over 100 million people instead of 2 million people. And the numbers come down dramatically. That's what should happen. That's one law. One law. We should not have cold insurance. If you've got the sniffles, you shouldn't be able to put that on your insurance. You should have galloping death rot insurance. Whatever galloping death rot strain you happen to come up with, you should have galloping death rot insurance. If it's going to cost you your life, or it can reasonably cost you your life, that's when your insurance kicks in, which fortunately doesn't happen to most people. Most people don't die of galloping death rot. Most people die a peaceful death. They go to sleep one night and that's that. But there are those who don't. And they should have catastrophic health care insurance to cover their galloping death rot. And the government should have absolutely no interest whatsoever in who does business with who or how much it costs or anything of the kind. Galloping death rot insurance should cover the very most it possibly can at the very lowest price that can possibly be had. How do you do that? Well, you make insurance companies compete with each other. Are they competing now? No. They're all being paid by the Obama administration. They have no risk. They've got nothing. And they're not making enough money, so they're walking away. Open up the groups. For that matter, do it with all insurance. Do it with all insurance coverage. Car insurance would go down. Life insurance would go down. Health insurance would go down. Fire insurance would go down. All of it would go down. Flood insurance would go down. That, and if you stop building houses in the floodplain, that is what the replacement for Obamacare should be. So I want you to know just exactly what President Obama said when the word came out that suddenly you were only going to be able to deal with a single provider of insurance and that it was going to cost you a bloody fortune. I want you to know just exactly what the president had to say when all of that came down. And I will tell you that next. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. We'll be back with more of the Wells Report in just a moment. Hi, I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report, inviting you to an InvestingMakesMeSick.com investment seminar this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. at Three Forks on the North Dallas Tollway. There's no cost to you. I will be there. We'll talk a little politics, have some fun, and help you understand that your investment choices don't have to be limited to only mutual funds and annuities. At Investing Makes Me Sick, they are not anti-stock market. The stock market can be your friend, but you need to learn that there are other investment options not related to the stock market. The current political environment is going to have a big effect on your investments. I'll see you this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. to learn more about your investment opportunities. To register, call 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or log on to investingmakesmesick.com.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPCI. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated. Investment subject to individual investor suitability and risk tolerance. Investments involve a high degree of risk and may be considered speculative and may result in the entire loss of the amount invested. May also incur substantial fees and expenses which are borne by the investor.
Truth spoken here. More of which is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
So you walk in to find water on the floor, and now your whole schedule is soaked. Everything stops. School schedules, football practice, ballet lessons. Hey, don't worry. Call the pros you know at Doworth Restoration. We'll get there fast to dry up the water and repair the damage. We know we're not just restoring homes, but we're restoring order to your life too. After all, we don't want to have to answer to that ballet instructor. DoworthRestoration.com. Bring your fine rug and your dog to Doworth Rug Cleaning's first annual Wag and Wash event on November 5th. Or if your rug is too big, bring your dog anyway. Schedule your rug or carpet cleaning and you'll get free grooming from our on-site vendor. While you're here, grab your dog a goodie bag, get yourself some tasty free food, and let the kids jump in our bounce house. But before you leave, don't forget to take your picture with your fresh pup at our photo booth. You won't want to miss this. Kick off the holidays November 5th. DoworthRugCleaning.com.
I first noticed my varicose and spider veins in college. After my first pregnancy, I started exercising to get back in shape, but my veins just got worse, and so did the pain and the throbbing. I was so embarrassed. The knotty, bulging veins in my legs looked like a roadmap. Then a friend told me about the Vein Clinics of America.
With over 200,000 successful procedures performed, Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as 1 hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by insurance.
Vein Clinics of America was the best thing I've ever done. I got my beautiful legs back.
Now's the time of year to maximize your insurance benefits. Take advantage of unused flex account dollars and lower deductibles before they're gone. Call now for your free doctor's consultation. Call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388. Did you know that mammograms actually increase your cancer risk? Living Springs Natural Health offers a thermal scan that can detect cancer cells 4 years earlier than a mammogram. The average cost of a mammogram is $597. Breast thermography costs $195, is non-invasive, and has no compression, radiation, pain, or increased cancer risks. This FDA-approved thermal camera can also identify areas of stress in the sinuses, TMJ joints, thyroid, spleen, lymph system, liver, digestive system, breasts, back, and neck. If you suffer from joint pain, Living Springs Natural Health can determine the root cause of the pain and help the body heal itself with nutrition, supplements, if needed, and natural therapies. Julie Clowers and Monica Janes are both board-certified naturopathic doctors. Call them today at 972-722-4668. That's 972-722-4668. Or learn more at livingspringsnaturalhealth.com.
Be a part of history. Come spend an evening with the artist that has inspired, encouraged, and shaped your faith for over 30 years. Sandy Patty's Forever Grateful, the Farewell Tour, 7 p.m. Sunday night, October 30th. Gateway Church. Tickets available now for your last chance to see Sandy Patty on tour at PremierProductions.com. Don't wait, this concert is selling fast. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
660 AM, The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
I can now announce the Wells Report and 660 AM The Answer are going to descend on the Feed Store Barbecue in South Lake, 530 South Whitechapel Boulevard, South Lake, Texas, 76092. We're going to get there after the election is over, and we're going to watch the results come in until midnight. We're going to start at 6 o'clock. I want you to come by. Delicious barbecue election results, play presidential trivia. We're trying to figure out whether or not we're gonna revive Wells Report Bingo. Right? Wells Report Bingo. If you win presidential trivia or Wells Report Bingo, you can win as much as a certificate for a manly handshake or a gentle bear hug. And that, by the way, is BEAR, hug, bear hug. Little typo on the sheet there, executive producer.
So you've been working out?
Well, I have been working out, but it's having the opposite effect of what it should. It's truly annoying. Yeah. Anyway, I'm manly and strong and warm, and you can win big prizes. Sort of. Depends on how much I work out. It could be really big prizes. I don't know. I don't get it, okay? I just don't understand. Yeah, it could be Lou Ferrigno prizes. You know? Somebody's out there saying, oh yeah, Lou Ferrigno, the deaf bodybuilder, he doesn't listen to anybody else either. See, that's not true. I listen to everyone. I do. All right, so 866-660-57. We'll see you election night. November 8th. Let's put this sucker to bed. Let's elect Donald Trump. Let's watch that happen. We can all be surprised together. All right. So President Obama acknowledged that, yes, there were going to be huge increases in premiums, drastic reductions in providers. He said all of that the last couple of days. And then he said this. I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, President Obama offered multiple excuses for why health care premiums continue to skyrocket, including blaming Republicans and insurance companies for the problems. He complains too many reporters spend more time discussing premium increases than explaining why he isn't responsible for them. No, I had nothing to do with that, President Obama said, calling it complicated, despite the hysteria that was growing. President Obama traveled to Florida to argue that ObamaCare was working well but needed to be fixed. Really? You wouldn't listen to anybody that tried to fix it, Mr. President. Remember the grand bargain thing? The one you kept adding stuff to until Speaker Boehner walked out of your house? Remember that? Yeah, there were all kinds of things that were involved in that. But you didn't want to fix any of them. Well, now the whole thing's falling apart. And it is your fault. And you did have something to do with that. And you are to blame for skyrocketing premiums and fewer suppliers of insurance. In fact, this entire ridiculous bloody exercise may have been a zero-sum game. In other words, you may not have helped anybody with this, except, of course, people that had to pay huge amounts more for their health insurance than they ever have before. If there was ever a story that could be told about the deep incompetence of federal government in the United States. ObamaCare is at the top of the reading list. This is the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Fall in Texas. Things are really getting crisp and cool and biting. And wait a minute. No, they're not. Those changes just don't come until later. But I'll tell you something you can change right now. Your vision. Climate Evangelista Eye Center. They want to help. From blade-free HD intralaser to the corneal inlay for improved reading vision. You can trust the surgeons at Climate Evangelista to recommend the option that's right for you. And hey, if you tell them that I sent you, Mark Davis, 660 AM The Answer, they're going to knock $1,000 off your LASIK or corneal inlay procedure. Look at there. To learn more, 1-800-714-2020. 1-800-714-2020. 3 locations, Arlington, Dallas, Plano. Incredible legacy of helping thousands of people see better and thus live better. So go to LASIKsurgery.com if you want to learn more. LASIK, LASIK, LASIKsurgery.com. Give them a shout. 1-800-714-2020. Change your vision, change your life. Climate Evangelista, 1-800-714-2020.
I'm Chris Waltz, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. I actually don't even think about food. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. The second month is where I saw a drastic change in the size of my stomach. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400. The safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes that can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock, doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first, and that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000. They will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you, but if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus, $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more, not just any pilings. Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer can actually point to a graduate of their online program like my friend Morgan from Nashville.
I did it. I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University online.
Hiring people is probably the worst part of my job.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. One click and my job was posted to 100+ job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just 1 click away from 100+ job sites. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer.
An important message from Medicare.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
I found a new plan with lower costs. It's Medicare Open Enrollment. Have you compared plans yet? Who knows what you might find? Check out your options at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
You never know unless you go.
Medicare Open Enrollment, October 15th through December 7th. Brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. The newest batch of John Podesta's hacked emails released by Wikileaks shows President Obama's transition team kept lists of Muslim and Asian candidates for jobs in the administration. According to an email chain from 2008, John Podesta received lists of exclusively Muslims and Asians to be considered for jobs in the Obama administration. The entire email chain revealed that in this process, Middle Eastern Christians were purposefully excluded, set aside in a separate list, with an aide writing, quote, "In the candidates for top jobs, I excluded those with some Arab American background, but who are not Muslim. Many Lebanese Americans, for example, are Christian. In the last list, most who are listed appear to be Muslim American, except that a handful may be Arab American, but of uncertain religion, especially Christian." In other words, if you were an Arab American Muslim, the Obama administration would consider you for a job. If you were an Arab American Christian, no go. Is that the persecution that Donna Brazil was talking about against Christians? Was that persecution? That was what she was talking about, right? Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not right. She was talking about Democrats. It only works if you're a Democrat. In other words, if you're an Arab American Democrat and a Christian, you get a job. I got it. Okay. Also notable, there was a concern that some of the Muslims suggested would not survive media scrutiny, with one aide writing, "High-profile Muslim Americans tend to be the subject of a fair amount of blogger criticism, and so the individuals on this list would need to be especially carefully vetted." Wait a minute, isn't that profiling? That special careful vetting? That's profiling, isn't it? As a matter of fact, so far this is all strident, evil, disgusting racism, is it not? All of this. Separating possible government employees into various ethnic groups, excluding some, hiring others. Is that what equal opportunity is all about? You're not telling me that the President of the United States was not an equal opportunity employer, are you? Well, yes, you are saying that he was not an equal opportunity employer, but you're saying it doesn't matter because we're Christians, right? Right. This female aide to Hillary Clinton, or excuse me, President Obama, says, "I suspect some of the people I list would not survive such a vet, but I do personally know, at least in part, virtually all of the candidates in the first two categories. But I knew very few of those listed for outside boards and commissions. Within the list themselves, candidates were further broken down, with every candidate labeled by their nationality and sometimes race. Is that not racism? This follows a pattern of the Obama administration using race and religion to determine hiring, with other leaked emails showing potential political appointees being labeled with an F or for female, B for black, H for Hispanic, and M for Muslim. Maybe that's why Hillary didn't know anything about a C on a particular document. So Team Obama kept list of Muslims for top jobs. Asians too, excluded non-Muslims. Do you have any idea why? Why would President Obama do that? Eight 660-5759, 866-660-5759. Why would he do that? Because it sure looks like racism to me. Does that look like racism to you? I don't have any real answer for this. We established a long time ago that the Obama administration was at least as racist as nearly any other American presidential administration. I mean, we pretty much set that aside about halfway through the first term. We knew that it was racism. Blatant, unadulterated, undisguised, just plain racist garbage. We knew that. But can you imagine? Look at this email chain. Look at the way they're talking to each other about it. This is like the flesh trade. Seriously. This is breaking down people to their physical and physical traits and determining who gets a job based on those physical traits, not the contents of their character. Eight 660-5759. Penny in Bedford, thanks for joining us. What do you think of all this?
Well, you know, I knew things were bad, but I had no idea how bad they were. And it makes me sick. I mean, it really does. It disturbs me. And the more it's unraveled, the worse it gets. But there's a video. You can see him sorting the files somebody made up. And there's also a video about James Comey. He wrote a letter to his staff September 7th, and you can read it. And he sounds like a 4-year-old in it. And they really want him. They want Congress to ask him to step down, but they said they knew he would not. That's a whole other topic. I know I jumped correct on you.
Well,
that the HIPAA law was Hillary's creation. I mean, I heard you talking about that a minute ago. Kind of interesting. It's now serving her purpose.
Well, all I can tell you is that this is more of the dishonesty that we're going to be dealing with. I mean, this is the kabuki theater that is Obama age politics, Clintonian politics. It's not what's actually happening. It's what looks like is actually happening. It depends on what is. Joseph in Arlington, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hello. Yesterday, Christian Lebanese, but I've been in Texas for over 45 years.
Hey, man, welcome. How are you?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully well. Thanks very much for joining us here in the United States.
Always a pleasure. I've been here for 45 years, my friend.
Awesome.
This is the greatest country and paradise of the universe, as far as I'm concerned.
Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we forget that.
The sad part is they're trying their best to destroy it and make it look like a third world country.
They sure do. And they're working at it.
So you're asked why would he have such an agenda to hire only Muslim Arabs? And I have an answer, very simple answer for that.
Yeah, why would they hire Muslim Arabs?
Because he wants to look good in front of all the Muslim countries that he was doing business with. Remember he went to Egypt and spoke to the parliament?
I do remember.
Remember he went to King Khalid and he bowed before him?
Yes, I know that too.
And other meetings with other Arab leaders that we don't even know about when they came here and secretly meeting with them in the White House, and without emphasizing too much, because they're here in the United States. But the man has to look good for the Arabs. Why? He'll be remembered by those Arab leaders that the one that enhanced Muslims, Arabs in the American administration. And when he's out of the administration in 3 months and he becomes a civilian like you and I, he's going to go make speeches in all those Persian Gulf countries and make more money than Hillary and Bill Clinton put together.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, who is he? I mean, I just don't understand. How can we get fooled by this stupid? I mean, I just don't understand it.
I know. I've never seen anything like it, Joseph. I have never seen anything like it ever.
And sooner or later, if we're not careful, since when do we back up a liar and a cheat and a crook to be elected president of the United States? What happened to the moral fiber of our society, of America? Where is America?
No, it got defeated. They got defeated by politically correct gamesmanship.
Exactly.
It was defeated
when I came to the United States, John David, in '74 into Texas, and I've been here ever since. I felt that the United States was closer in morals and values to the 1776 United States than to the 2016 United States. This is how it used to be.
Yeah.
Am I making sense to you?
Yes, you are.
Because there was tradition, there was respect, there were values.
Yeah.
Now, you can't say this, you can't say that, you don't do this, you don't. Come on, man.
Well, it's really interesting to me that we've seen a metamorphosis. Political correctness. If you violate political correctness, then whatever you say is automatically racist, which is garbage. I mean, it's just it's like it's garbage. I mean, racism is very straightforward. If you put someone in a diminished state, a diminished circumstance, based on some sort of physical attribute that has nothing to do with the contents of their character, that is racism. Whether you use the correct parlance of the day when you're referring to somebody, that is not racism. That's political correctness.
Can I say something to you about? You remember when they were getting ready for him to go to Kenya and visit his father's country last year?
Yeah.
Or the year before? Last year, I think. And CNN went in there and had an interview with his sister, who took CNN reporters to the cemetery where Barack Obama Sr. is buried. And I saw the marble stone on his grave, and it was written in Muslim Arabic preface from the Quran. So no matter what anybody says, Barack Hussein Obama is of Muslim descent.
I was just going to ask you that. I was going to ask you, what do you think now? Now I was going to say, so when President Obama leaves office, how many months will go by before he evolves into being a Muslim? What's the over-under? What's the over-under?
Maybe 5 years, because he's going to go to the pilgrimage in Mecca.
Yeah.
He must.
Well,
he must. As a Muslim, he must do that.
He must do that. Yes.
He must do that. Otherwise, he's not a real Muslim.
Yes. And I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, how long is it going to be before we find out officially that he is actually Muslim?
I say 2020 maximum.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 866-660-5759. Tony's going to join us here in a minute. We're going to talk with Tony in a sec. He's going to get the next break. We got to take a break, Tony, so just stay right where you are. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it strange that the President of the United States, who bludgeoned nearly everyone who disagreed with him as some kind of a bigot when he didn't get his way, proves that he himself ran his entire administration on the basis of race? This is the Wells Report.
You need a plan as you get closer to retirement. A plan that'll take you from where you are now to the retirement that you've always dreamed about. The first step on that path is to tune into the Wealth Smart Radio Show, Sundays at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. You only get to retire once, so it's really important you do it right. And your host, Reed Johnson, president of Lake Point Advisory Group, helps people retire successfully every day. So don't miss Wealth Smart every Sunday at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes and Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-614-9297 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-614-9297, and you'll also get free tickets to a training workshop that includes a free $20 Visa gift card, a smartphone watch, and USB flash drive loaded with Nick's powerful information as free gifts just for attending. Call 800-614-9297. That's 800-614-9297. Call now.
Want to see what you'd look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, we're giving away free trials of Somabiotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-900-4110. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. Somabiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of Somabiotics away for free. 1-800-900-4110. That's 1-800-900-4110. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-900-4110.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 of its highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as on campus from wherever you are. Learn more by texting CLASS to 369-369.
My name is Jonathan. I live in Portland, Oregon, and my major is communications. ASU has helped me with my life goals in the fact that it's giving me a platform to stand upon and provided me a firm foundation. The degree program fit wonderfully with how and what I wanted to do with my life.
Find out for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. Get started today. Text CLASS to 369-369. Again, that's CLASS to 369-369.
What's that?
I'm mapping out my new $1 million idea.
On a napkin?
I'm brainstorming.
You need to go to ideashares.com. They'll help you with the early stages of idea creation or ideation. They'll help you test, protect, and profit from your idea. The internet's most robust idea vetting machine is IdeaShares.
My $1 million idea really can happen.
ideashares.com. That's ideashares.com.
If you're over 65, there's one place you should be Wednesday, October 5th, and that's the Rite Aid Run a 65 Plus event. In addition to the 20% off seniors get every first Wednesday, you'll get an extra 10% off that day if you get an immunization. That's 30% off almost everything in store. If you need another reason, the CDC recommends a flu and pneumonia shot if you're over 65. They're both free with Medicare Part B and no appointments necessary. So stay healthy and don't miss our one-day event, Wednesday, October 5th. Rite Aid. With us, it's personal. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
John Truitt here for Simple Sleep Services. Are you ready to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea? Simple Sleep Services offers the proven custom simple solution. It's covered by medical insurance, and many patients are meeting their deductibles this time of year, which means less cash out of pocket. Learn more at simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. That's 469-685-1700. Offices conveniently located in both Dallas and Fort Worth. No CPAP, no surgery, just simple sleep.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. We get to Tony in Fort Worth, Texas. Tony, hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling just fine. Just whenever I hear that great voice of America, I feel much better. But it's painful.
I love you, Tony.
Sir, I want to correct something to my cousin from Lebanon.
Yes, sir.
Okay? It is not the letter M, Muslim. No. There is Muslims, they don't know about Obama, like you and me, okay? But the Muslims Obama targeting that belong to Muslim organization, they already listed it. They do hire through Access. You know about Access, okay?
Yes.
We have 450 universities in America controlled by the Muslim Student Association. They are very strong. They will fund it. Here, I've been saying that for 5 years.
Yes.
It is asylum in America.
So how many, let me ask you this, how many months do you think it's going to be after he leaves office before he evolves into being Muslim?
He already got a mosque. He praying at the White House.
I'm just asking. Tony, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. Simple question. What are we trying to do? Well, Mark, what do you mean? I mean, what are we trying to do? Let's make the list. Eat healthy, lose weight. That's all good. But listen, on that list somewhere, keep aware of our own bodies. Try to fend off heart attacks and cancer by being aware of what's going on inside us. Scan technology exists, and ViaScan prices give us the motivation to do the job right. At ViaScan of Las Colinas, John Duncan and the crew are there for you at a number I'm about to share so that you can see through the heart scan if you have plaques or blockages going on in your heart. See through the body scan what's going on in various other vital organs, maybe any pesky cancers that are festering there that you can detect early, the virtual colonoscopy, and so much more so we can stay healthy, stay on the planet, stay plugged into life. 972-739-2840. Call them. 972-739-2840 or just Google ViaScan.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. and see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Hey, what's up? This is Michael Pate with the Newsboys, and it's time for a Love Riot.
It's the Love Riot Tour, featuring the Newsboys, along with special guests, The Afters, and Ryan Stevenson. Sunday, November 20th, 6 p.m. at the Verizon Theater in Dallas. Tickets available online at premierproductions.com.
Brought to you by the DDU Concert Series. Tickets at AXS.com.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
554-321, 1-205-554-321, 1-205-554-321. Hi, welcome to the podcast page. I hope you enjoy the podcast you're about to listen to. But I want to tell you about the Feed Store Barbecue on election night. We're going to be there from 6 until midnight. How about if you join us? Don't wait for the podcast on that one. Come on out to the broadcast and join us at the Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake, 530 South Whitechapel Boulevard, Southlake, Texas, 76092. And now, on with the old show. You want me to do a promo about this? Feed store? Oh. Okay.
People are trying to find him. I just wanted you to tell him not to give up. We just have such a short time to go.
That's funny. Early voting, which I took part in today, is breaking records in Texas's 10 biggest counties. What does that? Well, that means I can have a hiccup. Early voting is breaking records in Texas's 10 biggest counties. What does that mean? Does that mean that everybody voting for Trump is getting out early and getting their votes cast? Does it mean that everybody is trying to elect Hillary Clinton before Donald Trump has a chance to steal the election in Texas? You know, something tells me that I believe the former better than I believe the latter. But just in case, let's talk about it next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis. It's Wednesday. Thanks very much for letting me come by and say hello, my friend. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake, 530 South Whitechapel Boulevard, Southlake, Texas. We're going to be there election night. November 8th, beginning at 8 p.m. will last until midnight, until the news story is told. Let's get together if you can, brother. Let's get together if you can, brother. I'd love to see you there. Otherwise, early voting is breaking records in 10 Texas counties, the biggest ones, in fact. Who's voting and why? Are they Trump supporters? Are people trying to get Hillary elected before the Trump supporters can push them off the page? Let's find out later tonight on the Wells Report.
I love it. It's amazing to me that I feel so good. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy to walk, energy to play sports. Everything is starting to work again, just like I'm 25. My wife is happy. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man. I'm taking this stuff to the grave with me.
Men, have you lost energy and gained belly fat? Are you feeling stressed out? Fight back with Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to increase your testosterone. For over a decade, Andro 400 has helped men lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel 20 years younger. Go to andro400.com. andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hi, I'm John David Wells from the Wells Report, inviting you to an InvestingMakesMeSick.com investment seminar this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. at Three Forks on the North Dallas Tollway. There's no cost to you. I will be there. We'll talk a little politics, have some fun, and help you understand that your investment choices don't have to be limited to only mutual funds and annuities. At Investing Makes Me Sick, they are not anti-stock market. The stock market can be your friend, but you need to learn that there are other investment options not related to the stock market. The current political environment is going to have a big effect on your investments. I'll see you this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. to learn more about your investment opportunities. To register, call 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or log on to investingmakesmesick.com.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPCI. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated. Investment subject to individual investor suitability and risk tolerance. Investments involve a high degree of risk and may be considered speculative and may result in the entire loss of the amount invested. May also incur substantial fees and expenses which are borne by the investor.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Patriot Mobile. The air is filled with choices, the kind of choices we get to make in a free country, especially in an election year. Here's a choice you get to make: your cell phone company. You know, big mobile companies I could name that you're probably doing business with. You know they support Hillary and the far left. What can you do? Let's change you over to Patriot Mobile, patriotmobile.com/Mark, patriotmobile.com/Mark, or 1-800-A-PATRIOT. Same quality of service at Patriot Mobile, better prices, supporting better causes. And the special, the free Samsung Galaxy S7, unlimited talk, text, and data for just $70 a month. Mention or enter the promo code MARK at checkout. Waive activation fees for up to 2 lines. Keep your same number. They buy you out of your current contract. patriotmobile.com/Mark. And at 1-800-A-PATRIOT, switch over today. Free signed copy from me of Lone Star America, How Texas Can Save Our Country. 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Mark. patriotmobile.com/Mark.
You know those families who quietly enjoy the holidays? Me neither. Well, until the companystore.com. Now the kids love playing Hotel Auntie Carol in the good sheets, as they call them. They actually want to go to bed, so we get some adult time, and that's worth giving thanks.
TheCompanyStore.com has been perfecting the ultimate comforts of home for over 100 years. From the finest quality bedding and bath to home decor and more. Order between October 1st and 30th to get 25% off plus free shipping with our friends and family discount. Visit TheCompanyStore.com and enter the code FAMILY.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Norman, Oklahoma. Victor Skinner writing for EAGnews.org. A Norman high school teacher is instructing students that to be white is to be racist, period. This, of course, is the logical next step in this racist mess in America, is that if you're white, you're a racist. Which means that the person who is saying that all white people are racist are essentially parroting the words that all black people were lazy. Racism is folded in on itself. It has imploded. The purveyors of racists, the purveyors of racism, have folded in on themselves. Like most leftist gobbledygookian political garbage, if you listen long enough, it will come back and invalidate itself. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Left-wing students at the University of California, Berkeley are protesting. This time, the students are calling for safe places for transgendered people, as well as safe spaces for people of color. By the way, they already have those. The protesters are also harassing white students trying to study, barring their path across a key bridge while allowing students of color safe passage. The protest, which began last Friday, blocked Berkeley's Sather Gate, disrupted studying athletes in the student union, and blocked traffic at the intersection of Telegraph and Bancroft in front of the campus. In the video of the protest, the so-called anti-racism protesters were seen denying passage across the bridge to white students, shouting "Go around," while happily allowing students of color to pass through. After blocking the bridge, the protesting students moved toward the front of the campus to occupy the front of the student store because they felt it interfered with their safe spaces. These are people that are agitating for segregated spaces. So what they believe at the University of California is the segregationists back in the 60s, those white crazy guys, you know, that allowed the federal government on the pretext of civil rights to come in and start running your political fortunes in your state. So apparently those guys were right. Is that what you guys are saying? That's what the University of Berkeley is now trying to pass on after being the bastion of civil rights protest in America in the 60s. See what I mean? 56 years later, Berkeley is now the home of segregation and racism in the United States. Well, John David, actually, what the students are doing is they're saying, hey, this is social justice. This is where we get back at Whitey. Really? How old are you? You're what, 20? 22. What are you getting back at Whitey for? What did we do to you? I'm 58. I have never pursued a racist moment in my life, ever. Not once have I taken a racist tone with anybody. Stopped anybody because of race. Never kept anybody from crossing a bridge because of the color of their skin. So what's the story, Lori? What's going on here? "63% of white America vote for President Obama in the last election, and we're racists? Really? We elected President Obama twice, you know. Black students in black families in the United States, the black population is 13%. You got President Obama elected all by yourself? No, you didn't. So what's the basis for all of this? The answer is nothing. The answer is flippin' nothing. You are protesting nothing for no reason. Why? You don't have the answer to that either, do you? Rebels without a cause, are you? How weird. 4 juveniles have been arrested in a series of violent incidents Friday night near Temple University's main campus in North Philadelphia. According to Temple Security, a group of 150 juveniles coordinated a meetup on Instagram, amassing on Broad Street near the campus at approximately 8 in the evening. 4 youths ranging in ages between 14 and 17 were arrested in connection with wide-ranging attacks on Temple students. Others in the crowd 2 Temple police officers that seem to mimic the flash mobs that hit City Center in recent years. In one incident, police say a group of 3 that included 2 students were assaulted by a group of 20 juveniles. The trio was they say here, the copy says the trio were kicked. Trio is singular. Okay. The trio was kicked, punched, and knocked to the ground. One of the students, Christina Lauletta, was hospitalized at St. Mary's Hospital, according to her father. These sick animals held her down, kicked and stomped on her repeatedly. Workers at a local pizza shop intervened. Every part of her body is badly bruised. It makes me cry just thinking about it. Me too. Of the group, 2 offenders were identified, arrested, and face multiple charges, including aggravated assault, robbery, and criminal conspiracy. Students weren't the only ones involved in the violence. One 15-year-old, who police say was seen throwing rocks at passing cars, knocked an officer pursuing him on bicycle to the ground. He was later apprehended and charged with aggravated assault, resisting arrest, among other offenses. In probably the most brazen act of violence, police say a 16-year-old came up to a mounted officer and punched the police horse twice in the face. Hello. Why would you hit Mr. Ed in the face? Yeah. Who's the guy think he is? Animal? No, what was that? Mongo. He thinks he's Mongo. That was a funny stunt, though. It really was. Alex Karras. By the way, after hitting the horse in the face, police apprehended him and charged him with assaulting a police service animal. Three other victims told police they were walking east in the 1700 block of Cecil B. Moore Avenue when a large group of juveniles began hitting and kicking them. One of the victims, an 18-year-old female, sustained scrapes and cuts to her legs, had her cell phone smashed. Others say teens stole items ranging from an iPhone to a Bluetooth speaker. No arrests were made. Police haven't released any further information about the suspects because of their ages. Friday night, students were upset that Temple issued a TU alert about large groups of juveniles along Broad Street almost 2 hours after the violence had erupted. Charles Leone, Temple's executive director of public safety, says he's taking steps to streamline the process so future TU alerts can go out faster when a large group of juveniles is reported. Have you noticed anything missing from that report? Motive? Was this just ultraviolence like in A Clockwork Orange? Or was another color involved? You know, like white. Eight 660-5759. Bill in Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Yeah, I was wondering if you saw the story about the Oklahoma teacher that is in trouble because apparently he told the students in his class that you're racist because you're white. You were born that way. There's nothing you can do about it. Simply because the fact that you're white makes you a racist.
Yeah, I guess. Just because you're white, you're a racist. Well, nobody else can be a racist. You know, I'm wondering about this story in Philadelphia. Any hate crimes here?
Probably. There's another video showing a 62-year-old man getting hit in the face by girls after he asked them just to get off his lawn. I don't know if you saw that, but apparently they were arrested.
Well, you see, what the heck was he doing asking them to get off his lawn?
Yep.
I mean, what does he think? Does he think that people have proper private property rights or something?
I guess so. There's a video that they were going around Facebook right now showing him all he did was ask these girls to get off his lawn, and one of them just decks him. So anyway.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Isn't it fantastic? Yeah, back in the olden days, when there was real racism instead of whatever this is. It was easier to understand. See, what this looks like to me is just plain anarchy. That's what it looks like to me. The good news about this is that at some point, someone will figure out a way to engage these flash mobs in a way that convinces them in basic, practical terms that things like that are bad. It's bad for you to do things like that. I remember back in the crazy days of Cologne, Germany, say around the first of the year. Yeah. Some Arab immigrants decided that they were going to get Trumpian with some women in Cologne. Of course, that's not true. I mean, I'm just saying they just decided to get handsy with these women. Then they went to a Russian city. And the Russian men beat the living snot out of them and put maps to Cologne on their clothes when they woke up in the street the next day. You know what the police said happened? They didn't say anything. This is the Wells Report.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
This election is a must-win for Republicans, and we must band together to vote for all the great people on the down ballot which affect our lives the most. Don't let the federal elections distract you from what's happening in your own backyard. Tarrant County government has grown by nearly $100 million in the last 5 years. Property taxes keep going up every year as a result. It's a myth that taxes must go up if property values increase. The Commissioner's Court knows the increase in home values before they set the rate. Everyone is affected by higher property taxes, especially renters. Reagan said the best way to stop the growth of government is to stop feeding it. I'm Roy E. Lozano, and I promise to stop rising property taxes and fight for zero baseline budgeting in our county government. Please vote Roy E. Lozano for Tarrant County Commissioner in Precinct 1. Learn more at votelozano.com. Find me, Roy E. Lozano, on Facebook at Vote Lozano. Political ad paid for by candidate and treasurer Roy E. Lozano.
If you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please stay tuned for a special free offer from the makers of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit the ear almost invisibly, and it can be adjusted to find the perfect way to hear everything in every listening environment. Right now, we're offering absolutely free in-home trials to everyone who calls now. 1-800-400-4851. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is lightweight and practically invisible, so people won't notice when you're wearing it. So again, if you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please give them or yourself this life-changing 100% free in-home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-400-4851. That's 1-800-400-4851. 1-800-400-4851.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-3816. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-3816. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-3816. 1-800-400-3816.
Who's there?
Falling off.
Falling off who?
Falling off pain patch.
What?
Don't be fooled by the knock-knocks. Get the relief you deserve with Blue Emu's Lidocare pain relief patches. Our narcotic-free, maximum strength adhesion formula with dry technology won't have you worrying about a corny knock-knock joke anymore, because pain is no joke. Find us at CVS, Walgreens, and Amazon.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us. On 660 AM. The Answer.
Oh!
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. There's a difference between political correctness and, say, for example, failing at the new requirements of the politically correct communication game and racism. People have forgotten what racism truly is. Racism was not being able to stay in a hotel because of the color of your skin. Racism is being told which water fountains to use. Racism is not getting a chance to succeed in the greatest country on earth because you have a different color packaging. That's racism. The Democrat Party has made a living abusing racism. For example, the civil rights law in the United States of America was about African Americans whose entire civilization had been destroyed by white slave traders who brought them to America. None of that extends to illegal immigrants living in this country illegally. None of it. Now, there might be somebody who says, my gosh, that's not politically correct, therefore you are a racist. Well, that has nothing to do with racism. It's a fact. Both of those are facts. Civil Rights Act was for African Americans living in the United States. It had nothing to do with illegal immigrants living in the United States now. Nothing. But the Democrats have invested all of those laws on any minority that might happen to be able to identify themselves as a minority, as long as they don't have white skin. And yet these people who are the arbiters of what is racist and what is not racist, what is politically correct, what is not politically correct, are now saying that all white people are racist because they're racists, not the white people, the people saying that the people are racist. How many more times can we use that in a sentence before we suddenly realize that racism is no longer a reality? It's just a cudgel that we use against each other when we're mad. My dear friends, what these people need, I'm talking about the people in Berkeley, the high school teacher in Norman, Oklahoma, and the flash mob in Philadelphia, they need a good harsh dose of reality. And again, the one thing missing in the Philadelphia story was all the things we need to know about who beat up on who. But of course, the thing about it is that only white people were beaten up, which means there couldn't possibly have been a hate crime. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 of its highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as on campus from wherever you are. Learn more by texting CLASS to 369-369.
My name is Jonathan. I live in Portland, Oregon, and my major is communications. ASU has helped me with my life goals in the fact that it's giving me a platform to stand upon and provided me a firm foundation. The degree program fit wonderfully with how and what I wanted to do with my life.
Find out for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. Get started today. Text CLASS to 369-369. Again, that's CLASS to 369-369.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-400-0301. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-400-0301. That's 1-800-400-0301. 1-800-400-0301.
How would you like to make up to $20,000 a month flipping houses with no risk? Hi, my name is Nick Vertucci, and over the last 2 years, my elite team of house flippers have flipped over 800 properties by using my 3-step flipping system that guarantees quick profits. And this year, we plan to double it. I'm growing my team in your area, and I'm looking for help. I have more cash available than deals right now, so I need you. All interested candidates, call now and take an inside peek of my flipping system. I'll rush you out a free copy of my Fortunes in Flipping CD kit that will show you how easy it is to get in, get out, and get paid immediately flipping houses if you come join my team.
Call 1-800-614-9297 now to get your free flipping kit. Call 800-614-9297. And you'll also get free tickets to a training workshop that includes a free $20 Visa gift card, a smartphone watch, and USB flash drive loaded with Nick's powerful information as free gifts just for attending. Call 800-614-9297. That's 800-614-9297. Call now.
If you're a business owner, I want you to imagine standing on home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. They give you the microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. You think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you are open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, then listen to Mark.
I had fantastic results with the Andro 400 Max. Probably lost 35 pounds, and more impressive than that was the inches I lost off of my belly and my waist. And the increased energy is fantastic. I'll be totally honest, I tried a different product, and I wasn't happy with the different product. You guys are considerably cheaper than the other brand, and I can really feel the difference.
Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Feel and look like a new man. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. We have a sponsor on this broadcast. Perhaps you've heard of them. Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is an amazing company that that pursues conservative politics in a way that allows you to have a certain amount of money that you pay Patriot Mobile to go to a particular conservative cause of yours. The reason is because that big mobile companies are basically taking advantage of opportunities given them from, say, I don't know, prevailing government. Obama phone, ring a bell. That was a cool $1 billion for those guys. Not Patriot Protection. The big mobile companies. Yeah. I'm sorry, I meant Patriot Mobile, not Patriot Protection. I knew I was going to say that. Both of them are good companies, both sponsors of the Wells Report, although Patriot Protection I don't think is still with us, unfortunately. But I will tell you that Patriot Mobile is. And you should probably do your absolute dead level best to get a hold of a Patriot mobile telephone, especially if you have an AT&T mobile telephone. You know why? On November 11th, 2013, Victorville, California Sheriff's deputies and a coroner responded to a motorcyclist's report of human remains outside of town. They identified the partially bleached skull of a child and later discovered the remains of the McStay family, who had been missing for the past 3 years. Joseph, 40, his wife Summer, 43, Johnny, 4, Joseph Jr., 3, had been bludgeoned to death and buried in shallow graves in the desert. Investigators long suspected Charles Merritt in the family's disappearance, interviewing him days after they went missing. Merritt was McStay's business partner and the last person known to see him alive. Merritt also borrowed $30,000 from McStay to cover a gambling debt. A mutual business partner told police. None of it was enough to make an arrest. But after the gravesite was discovered and the McStay's DNA was found inside Merritt's vehicle, police were far from pinning the quadruple homicide on him. Until they turned to Project Hemisphere. Hemisphere is a secretive program run by AT&T that searches trillions of call records and analyzes cellular data to determine where a target is located, with whom he speaks, and potentially why. Merritt was in a position to access the cellular telephone tower northeast of the McStay family gravesite on February 6, 2010, 2 days after the family disappeared. An affidavit for his girlfriend's call records reports hemisphere finding PDF. Merritt was arrested almost a year to the date after the family's remains were discovered and is awaiting trial for the murders. So here we go. Charles Merritt, a suspect, the last person to see the McStay family alive. He borrowed $30,000 from McStay to cover a gambling debt. The gravesite was discovered. McStay's DNA was found inside Merritt's vehicle. Not enough proof to be able to pin the quadruple homicide on him, but information stored in Project Hemisphere of AT&T just waiting to be used. Nailed him. So AT&T essentially is gathering biographical information on all their customers with every call, with every bit of data coming from the cell phone in your pocket, saving that information for a rainy day, just in case somebody comes calling. In 2013, Hemisphere was revealed by the New York Times and described only within a PowerPoint presentation made by the Drug Enforcement Administration. The Times described it as a partnership between AT&T and the U.S. government. The Justice Department said it was an essential and prudently deployed counter-narcotics tool. However, AT&T's own documentation reported there by the Daily Beast for the first time, reported here by the Daily Beast. This is a Daily Beast article, by the way. It shows Hemisphere was used far beyond the war on drugs to include everything from investigating homicides to Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud. Hemisphere is not a partnership, but rather it's a product that AT&T developed, marketed, and sold at a cost of millions of dollars per year to taxpayers. No warrant is required to make use of the company's massive trove of data, according to AT&T documents. Only a promise from law enforcement to not disclose Hemisphere if an investigation using it becomes public. You don't need a warrant to make use of the company's massive trove of data. You know what that means? That means that you're carrying around a bug on your phone, a GPS locator, a complete and total record of every place you've gone, where you were every time you called someone. You're carrying that around in your pocket if you're an AT&T customer, and they don't need a warrant to access the information. All they have to do is just decide that you're a bad guy. And then they come show up and they walk up to AT&T and say, hey, can you show me all of John David's stuff? Sure. But don't tell John David that it was us that nailed him to the wall. Well, we're not sure he actually did anything. Oh, trust me. You go back far enough in somebody's background, you'll find something. Doesn't make any difference who they are. And since you don't have to have a warrant, you don't have to have any real proof of where any of this information came from, it really doesn't even have to be true. As a matter of fact, there's no way to determine where that information came from at all. Because the way it works is you don't have to have a warrant for any of this. I'm sure that there are similar programs with Sprint and Verizon, T-Mobile, all of them. And you know what's wrong with all of that? Nothing. None of it violates your constitutional rights. Not any constitutional right. Because AT&T is not a government agency. The Constitution, you know, only affects the constitutional powers of the federal government. AT&T doesn't have to follow those rules, even though they're spying on you 24/7, 365. Because, and oh, by the way, you're paying for it. So the question is, why in heaven's name would you ever want to carry an AT&T phone? Why would you ever want to carry any cell phone? Well, because, like, for example, if you're me, you got to be in touch. You just have to be in touch. You have to be reachable. And apparently the price for being reachable is also being gettable. All that information that AT&T collects is none of their business. It's my intellectual property, all of it. Every place I go, every call I make, it's my intellectual property, but we don't have that law yet. We have no intellectual property law. And we need one. We need an anonymity law. We need a law that says that, yeah, we know that that phone call is in someone's hands, but we don't know who. And we need to stop collecting where that phone is being used. And of course, every police officer says, no, we use that too much. We solve too many crimes that way. Yes, you do. But in order for you to have that capability, you're abusing the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, because at some point, somebody's got to go get that information. Whoever goes and gets that information, in this particular case, can get it without a warrant. Which means there is no Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. They can nail you at will. They don't need a warrant, which is dead flippin' wrong. Now, I'm reasonably sure that Donald Trump doesn't have any real clue about the implications of anything that I've been talking about. I know that Hillary Clinton doesn't have a clue either, but even if she did have a clue, she'd be trying to figure out some way of strengthening AT&T's hand, not weakening it. Because I guarantee you that a Hillary administration will only seek to serve Hillary and Bill and Chelsea. But it's not going to serve we the people. How's that feel? How does it feel to realize that the next president of the United States, if it's Hillary Clinton, could very likely change the entire country for the sake of her convenience or whatever the watchword of the day is? Fascinating, isn't it? But at least we don't have somebody that's reached out and grabbed some woman's butt, apparently. It's not been proven or anything. It's not even that it's actually probably never even happened. Someone just said it happened. So because of the innuendo that maybe Donald Trump did actually reach out and touch someone. Pardon me, using an AT&T advertising line. Anyway, yeah, we can't have him as president, but we can have Hillary, who will do whatever she wants. Isn't that great? This is the Wells Report.
Just look at them, having a great time. To think 6 weeks ago, I was just installed. All it took was one last spilled drink on their old dingy carpet, and they had enough of him. Thank goodness. They got the professionals at Adair's Fine Floors in here, and just look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm not just your average wood floor. I take crazy traffic like a pro, and it's all because my homeowners called Adair's Fine Floors. Susan and Richard Adair came in, talked to the family, figured out what their needs were, and helped them find the perfect floor to fit their lifestyle. Adair's Fine Floors has a large selection with free sample checkouts, and they chose me. That's not all. Just look around. The coordinating accessories suggested by Adair's Floors. That rug over there? Yep, Adair's Floors. They offer free design and decorating assistance too, giving the home just the right look. Visit AdairsFineFloorsETC.com to get your home started on the right look for you. That's AdairsFineFloorsETC.com.
Hugh Hewitt here for Relief Factor. I encourage you to give it a try. It's all about getting rid of the inflammation in your body. If you're tired of having your back ache and ache, your ankles do the same, your toes throb, your knees rebel, then you need to go to ReliefFactor.com right now and give it a try. It is nature's pharmacy, packaged in an easy-to-use group of supplements that make all the difference in the world. Put down the Aleve, put down the ibuprofen, pick up ReliefFactor.com. Nature's got an apothecary of everything you need to fight inflammation. Don't take those over the counters. They're bad for you. You can't take them every single day. You can, however, take ReliefFactor.com. You'll find detailed product information at ReliefFactor.com, and you get your first order at $19.95. Watch and look at all of the listener testimonials that have come in. ReliefFactor.com wants you to give it a try. Learn more about the product and their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. And come one day closer to inflammation-free living. ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com.
Honey, what is that in your CPAP mask?
Oh, that's just my mold collection.
Oh, gross. And what is that?
What, that bacteria colony right there? Yeah, cool, huh?
Okay, CPAP users, admit it. You're not always as careful about cleaning your system as you should be. Unfortunately, a dirty mask and hose can make you sick. Respiratory infections, allergy attacks, and more. But now there's an easy way to protect yourself. SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of CPAP germs in minutes. For a limited time, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-700-2152. SoClean is hands-free. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP comes out clean and fresh in minutes. Don't let germs wreak havoc on your health. Call in the next 10 minutes for your risk-free trial. 1-800-700-2152. That's 1-800-700-2152.
Want to see what you'd look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, we're giving away free trials of Somabiotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-900-4110. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. Somabiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of Somabiotics away for free. 1-800-900-4110. That's 1-800-900-4110. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-900-4110.
Hi, I'm John David Wells from The Wells Report, inviting you to an InvestingMakesMeSick.com investment seminar this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. at Three Forks on the North Dallas Tollway. There's no cost to you. I will be there. We'll talk a little politics, have some fun, and help you understand that your investment choices don't have to be limited to only mutual funds and annuities. At Investing Makes Me Sick, they are not anti-stock market. The stock market can be your friend, but you need to learn that there are other investment options not related to the stock market. The current political environment is going to have a big effect on your investments. I'll see you this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30 p.m. to learn more about your investment opportunities. To register, call 972-463-3833. That's 972-463-3833, or log on to investingmakesmesick.com.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Titan Securities. Member of FINRA SIPCI. InvestingMakesMeSick.com and Titan Securities are not affiliated. Investment subject to individual investor suitability and risk tolerance. Investments involve a high degree of risk and may be considered speculative and may result in the entire loss of the amount invested. May also incur substantial fees and expenses which are borne by the investor.
660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. But remember, if you use it, someone may know that you call The Wells Report. I'm just saying. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Today, General Colin Powell announced that he was going to vote for Hillary Clinton. He joins George H.W. Bush in voting for Hillary Clinton, and probably Jeb and who knows who else in the family. And unfortunately, as more and more of these people from the neocon era of American politics continue to make themselves more and more accessible from a standpoint of getting to know them, the more and more you realize that, just as we said then, they were Democrats the entire time. Pity. The executive producer of The Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of The Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. God bless you and yours. See you again tomorrow for another edition of The Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
If you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please stay tuned for a special free offer from the makers of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers to fit the ear almost invisibly, and it can be adjusted to find the perfect way to hear everything in every listening environment. Right now, we're offering absolutely free in-home trials to everyone who calls now. 1-800-400-4851. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also receive free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is lightweight and practically invisible, so people won't notice when you're wearing it. So again, if you or someone you love is suffering from hearing loss, please give them or yourself this life-changing 100% free in-home trial with free shipping and free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-400-4851. That's 1-800-400-4851. 1-800-400-4851.
In my line of work, I'm trying to make a difference. Not $1 billion, but I want to save for the future too. So this year, I partnered with TIAA to help me map out a plan. If I stick to it, I could have an income stream for life and maintain my lifestyle in retirement. Looks like a life of rewarding work could pay off for a lifetime.
Your personal success takes a financial partner who values it as much as you do. Learn more at TIAA.org.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jack Callahan. The Cleveland Indians strike first in the World Series, beating the Chicago Cubs 6-0 in Game 1. Game 2 Wednesday night in Cleveland. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump campaigning in Florida on Tuesday. Trump hitting on the big rate increases coming in the Affordable Care Act.
They said 25%. Forget 20. You'll take 25%. It's going to be 60, 70, 80.